Drama. Big drama, because we're here for the qualifying F1 stream, but F2 are only 3 laps in. There's a red flag, and it's absolutely pouring it down in F2. So what is going to happen with F1 qualifying? There's already been a huge crash where 2 cars have ended up on top of each other. Welcome along, everyone. Hope we're okay. We are live. But yeah, there has been heavy rainfall. I've got the satellite map up for you. That is live satellite. And it's all congregating around the Netherlands. I mean, the spray in F2 is unbelievable. There is zero visibility. Welcome along, everyone, by the way. Let me know if you are with us. Who is awake? Who is alive? Let us know. They're doing a rolling start in F2. A rolling start. Ollie Behrman's in P3, Carrera in P4. Fittipaldi's all the way down in 15th. Theo Pourchaire's in 19th place. Welcome, John Boss. Welcome, V-Neck. Good to see you both. Good to have you along for the ride. Motorsport Magpie, David Whitehouse in the chat. Big question, if this was Spa, everyone would be calling for it to be stopped. Yeah, but there's no sort of Eau Rouge-y corner at Zandvoort, is there? Although we have seen a driver injury already. Not often that you see drivers sort of get injuries in F1 and that they can't take... Oh my word, the standing water is insane. There is a lot of standing water here at Zandvoort. So you see, we've got a timer there till qualifying, but I'm going to keep you updated on exactly what is going on, because I would not be surprised if this is going to impact Formula 1. There's Mick Doohan. Very fast on 2 wheels. His son is very fast on 4. Safety car is still out. I wonder if they're delaying the rolling start procedure. And what is this going to mean for qualifying? Plenty of blind fast entries. That is true. There are a lot of blind entries with no runoff. So if there's spray and a car ahead, that is a very good point. It's a bit like yeah, it's a bit like sort of going into Suzuka and like the S's in the wet, where you just can't really see anything. Welcome, Vlatka. Good to see you. Let's really try and pump up the... let's do a like target. What do we think the like target should be for qualifying? We're on 10 already. We preloaded some likes. Welcome to... Oh, red flag. Red flag in F2. They've just decided to stop it. I'm going to go 200. We're going to go for the big 200. It's a red flag in F2. And that F2 race... Then that F2 race is going to exceed its slot. So I don't actually know what happens now. Because they're red flagging F2. They've done 3 laps. I don't know if they're going to count half points or something. I don't know when they need to vacate the track for the inspections ahead of qualifying. I don't think they want to move F1 qualifying back in case there's bad weather or bad lights. They don't want to put that in jeopardy. So David's here with the info. David says they have 18 minutes till the race is called off. So they've got 18 minutes. Ah, okay, yeah, there's a timer. There's a timer. And what do we think? Chat, do you think this race is going to get restarted or not? Because I am skeptical. I am what you might call skeptical about this one. I mean, it's wet for sure, but it's like the cars are all leaving like a wake. That's when you know it's wet. It's like they're boats. This is not looking good for F1 qualifying, I have to say. Yeah, if you're at the top, and depending on where you are in the championship, you might be very much asking for this to be red flagged and take home your half points at the top. Thank you very much. And if you're at the bottom, like Theo Porsche, Nissani, Fittipaldi, Iwasa's at the back, Arthur Leclerc's at the back, Deruvala's off halfway, you might be saying, hang on, no, we need to get racing here, this is not wet enough. So there might be a lot of politics all over this. We will see. Victor Martins in P2, so he'll be what driver that's saying, no, let's call this off, please. We'll see, David. I mean, it doesn't bode well, does it? Especially if you look at that weather forecast I've got for you, the live satellite. There's a lot of rain in the area. And we saw in Formula 1 about 7 or 8 drivers ended up going off the track, some of them needing safety, some needing recovery. So the cars are lining up in the pit lane. They're not going into their boxes, they're lining up in the pit lane. But it's this conundrum. Welcome along, everyone, by the way. Let us know if you're watching. Always good to know who's around. So 0 points right now. So someone's got their IBM ThinkPad out in the rain. I hope that's waterproof. It's this conundrum whereby to get the track drier, you need to have cars out there. But the irony is, it's too wet to have cars out there. So the best thing I would say is just go around behind safety car. Race will not be resumed. That is it for F2. They have cancelled the F2 race. The F2 race has been cancelled. Wow. That I was not expecting. Race will not be resumed. Race canned. Yeah, if you're coming into the chat, but I might do a cheeky little post here, chat, everyone. Bear with me because this is quite dramatic. Stay with me. Just do a cheeky little post there. I don't know what that means for the championship, but essentially they are under pressure to make a decision because they are the support race for Formula 1. Welcome, Shane. Good to see you. Good to see you, everyone. Let us know where in the world you're joining us from today. Would be cool to see. Might see qualifying tomorrow. Very, very good point, David. Very good point. Welcome, Chunky. Good to see you, man. Very good point. I wonder if we are... Yeah. The irony is now the cars are going onto the track again. The F2 race has been cancelled, but the cars are going onto the track again. Why? Because they can't reverse down the pit lane. So in order to get into their pit box, they need to do a lap of the track. So we have this sort of perverse situation where whoever oversees this race has just red flagged it because the conditions are undrivable, but are now asking the cars to drive around the track. So let me know in the chat what you think about that as a concept. Riddled with hypocrisy, I would say. But there was a big crash earlier. But I might be able to give you some insight on it. Looks like the rain started quite early in the race. And then, yeah, blind corners, cars on top of each other. Probably a driver saved there by the halo, I have to say. And then by the time they went out again, it was much better. Yeah, the weather is really bad. I mean, have a look at the weather radar there. It is very, very bad weather. Very bad weather. And it's raining as heavily as I've seen it this weekend. I don't know what happens now for Formula 1 because we're up against... There's 48 minutes to go. There's 48 minutes to go and the track was too wet for wet tyres in F2. So what on earth do you do? No worries, F1 Crazy, good to see you. Working on, make sure you're all hitting your like button, everyone. We've got that big like target. We know we can do it. We've done it before. Need to dust off the cobwebs. Chunky says, surely the track will dry standing water pretty quick. You'd imagine because it's such a banked circuit, but when I was having a look earlier, I mean, it looked there was a lot of standing water around the place. Like a lot of standing water. And also because it's a bank track, I think some of the it makes it more difficult because some sides of the track are less wet than others, which can make it very complicated. And we saw a lot of F1 drivers bin it in free practice 3, and these are the best racing drivers in the world, or should be. Is it still raining? It is definitely still raining. I will give you a update. They're just doing an advert for Oral-B on the feed, which is not what we want to see. What do you think if you're Max Verstappen here? Would you rather that it's a wet race or a dry race? Surely you would rather it's a dry race and there's less variables, I would say. Less things in the way, less things that can go wrong. As soon as I get a sight of the track, I will let you know, everyone. F1 Crazy says dry, less risk for Max. Yeah, but he did dominate in the drying circumstances in FP3 there. True, and he'll have DRS. I mean, is DRS an advantage? I mean, the Red Bull DRS is so powerful, isn't it? But you'd presume he's going to be at the front of the train. Chunky says Lando, Norris for pole and win in the wet. Let me know in the chat, who do you think is going to get pole? Because theoretically, we are going to start qualifying in just 45 minutes. That's the theory anyway. 45 minutes till qualifying on a circuit that is, right now, as of this second, is undrivable. There should be racing on it. Feel for anyone in the grandstands. F1 Crazy, but in case Lando gets pole, could I do? Yeah, I don't know which way the DRS situation sort of cuts actually.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
I'm not sure. Just more adverts. Companies I don't understand. But let me, as soon as I get a glimpse of the track, I'll let you know. But last I saw was absolutely pouring it down. I would say that that front that was coming in off the North Sea does seem to have sort of a... It's not generating any more per se. This could be the big front that we saw earlier, an hour or two ago. But once it's done, but I don't think it's still gonna be there over qualifying. I'm thinking more to like tomorrow. Very much enjoying Amsterdam. Always a pleasure to go to Amsterdam. Always a very nice place to visit. I think it should be a... I'd much rather go to Amsterdam than Paris, for example. No offence to any French people watching, but Amsterdam is a way better capital than yours, just objectively. Okay, there's some more adverts for stuff. This might be AWS or something. See what's going on. Is it an advert for Oracle? Oh, maybe it's the Sky intro. It's the Sky intro thing. Chunky just reposted a tweet, a photo of the track. I imagine it's very, very, very wet. Exceedingly wet. Okay, here we go. Qualifying. They're doing some B-roll of when it wasn't raining, which is not super helpful. The ultimate race festival, they say. I don't know what to focus on, do they? Minnie says probably no qualifying. I'd say right now the odds are against qualifying. I'd say the odds are against it. I really would. Just showing some funky Dutch people. What we want to see is the weather conditions right now. There's no point doing a promo package for qualifying. There isn't going to be any qualifying. That's like selling cinema tickets on the day the apocalypse is happening. Don't need to go to the cinema to see some drama. F1 Crazy says, I think it'll be dry by Q3 while a dry line. I don't think we're going to get onto... Let me just... Yeah, I don't think we're going to get onto dry tyres today. But I just want to see some absolutely live, fully live footage. Right, it's not raining this second on the track, as I can see. It's raining around the track. It's sort of swirling around. F1 Racing, F1 cars are the biggest users in the world, yes. There's people with the umbrellas up in the paddock. There's a lot of standing water in the paddock, but as F1 Korea said, there's no F1 cars to hoover up all that water. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I'd be surprised if we get onto dry tyres, considering we just had an F2 race that's been cancelled.
Manual pit lane. Okay, understood.
And I'm almost a little bit surprised that they didn't just keep the cars going around on the safety car just to sort of dry the track for Formula 1 in true support car fashion. For whatever reason, they did not want to do that. I can't explain it. Welcome back, Lorenzo Taylor. Good to see you again. Having a look now of Verstappen's FP3 lap, which is a 121.6, doesn't tell the whole story there, because we know that on the lap after that, he actually went off the circuit, went into the gravel trap. So he was really, you would think, pushing it at the end of FP3 and finishing 4/10 ahead of George Russell and a second exactly ahead of his teammate. But after Verstappen and Russell gets very close, doesn't it? Yeah, we've been covering the F2 race. Well, technically it wasn't a race. They're showing some radar now. We've got the radar up as well. And it's just a stream of fronts coming in and hitting the track. If you were 2 miles to the right hand side, you wouldn't see any of this rain. If you were 2 miles to the south, welcome Minnie. If you were 2 miles to the south, you wouldn't see any of this rain. It's all going directly over Zandvoort. Absolutely crazy. It's like they placed the track right in front of the weather fronts. Very nicely placed.
So Verstappen
Top work.
confirm.
He was up by... Was he up another 6/10? So Verstappen was really on one, really pushing it.
Cool.
F1 Chris, it is sad for all the fans. Yeah, if you come today, you've seen a bit of FP3 interrupted by 3 red flags. You've seen 2 laps of an F2 race. I don't know if they have had any other support. You're here for qualifying. You might not be back here tomorrow because the tickets are so expensive on a Sunday. They're already expensive on Saturday. So we do want to see an actual qualifying session. But what will Formula 1 decide to do here? We've already seen a lot of cars get into the mess in the barriers, losing rear wings and things like that. "38 minutes to go." Again, I'm hopefully going to get some footage. It looks very windy as well. Remember, Max Verstappen went off. Max Verstappen was actually the first driver to go off in FP3 when he ended up on the grass. Perez went off as well. Then Kevin Magnussen completely lost the back end, hit that new front wing, I think. Guanyu Zhou lit it up into the gravel. Liam Lawson went onto the paint, spun it around, just about saved it, but caused a red flag. Charles Leclerc went off 3 times at turn 1. Ocon went off. Ocon actually hit his front wing at turn 1. One to Martin. Who's Martin? Who's Martin? And what's happened or has not happened to him? Okay, so Saturday afternoon, going to eat my lunch and watch stream. Yeah, how are people going to be enjoying qualifying today? Let me know. Let me know how you will be enjoying the session today. If indeed there is a session, there's going to be drama one way or another. The guy at the track and the stream. Martin Brundle. Oh, Martin from the earlier stream. Hopefully Martin will be back. Our man on the ground. Where's Mr. Timmermans? All of the gang. Liam Lawson. 3rd in F2 last year. Won the first round of Super Formula this year. And huge pressure on Liam Lawson in very, very testing conditions. Extremely testing conditions. Martin doesn't... Yeah, Martin's a part-timer. He's like us. Again, I would love to get more shots of the track if the helicopter's up. Oh, Martin's here. Martin! There is another wet weather front coming in that is going to hit the track. It's on that path. So there is going to be a massive dousing of rain. I don't know whether that sort of weather cell or whatever it is going to hit the track before qualifying starts, during or after. My hunch says it will hit it during qualifying. Welcome to Bit Pro, good to see you. What's the weather and the track? The weather is wet and the track is Zandvoort. Daniel Ricciardo, by the way, not scored any points this season. Wasn't he really unlucky in his debut? And Mercedes have gone into 2nd place in the championship ahead of Aston and Ferrari. McLaren, by the way, are 5th in the Constructors' Championship, even though they have the aura of a team that's really competing at the front. Well, it might be 10 minutes before this weather hits. There is a huge amount of rain. I'd say less than a mile from the track. But I'm saying track is still wet indeed. There is a huge amount of water on the way, I think. And I reckon it's going to hit the track before qualifying starts, so I think it's going to get even wetter. Kay says one of the GF of the F1 drivers want to be the F1 engineer. What's that about? Don't know what that means. Yeah, Matt's going for a big record here, but it's either, by the way, Alonso out of nowhere snuck up into P4 because Alonso was having a terrible session. Something was not going right for Alonso. And it's tough on Liam Lawson, but I would say that, considering Liam Lawson, I'm not sure he really got back out on track. I don't know. That was all about the last lap, really, that standing sport. That's what matters in qualifying. It's what matters in the race. It is all about that last lap. Almost reaching the half an hour mark to go, everyone. Let me see if I can get some latest news for you. Bear with me. What's the latest? Let me just try and get some latest news for you. See what the situation is. Yeah, F2 said they cancelled the race because of torrential rain and minimal visibility. Minimal visibility, they said. Which is worrying because that's not something you can easily fix. And people saying it's the rain when it comes down is very, very heavy. I feel sorry for him, breaks hands just for qualifying. What you mean, Daniel Ricciardo? Danny Rick. Welcome to Gamer Muscle Videos. Who is Gamer Muscle? I've never heard of this Gamer Muscle Videos. Anyone heard of Gamer Muscle Videos? Gamer Muscle Videos. What an unusual username. Must be some like bodybuilder. Here we go. Atmospheric says rain at 2, rain thunder at 3. Is that the forecast for tomorrow? So tomorrow, could it be really, really bad? Oh man, are we going to even see any racing? I tell you, every time we stream, it's cursed, isn't it? Every time we stream F1, we end up cursing the race. What are we thinking in terms of if they delay the start of quali, how late can they go? How late can they go? Gamer Muscle, I think I've heard about local. Anyone heard of Gamer Muscle? Gamer Muscle. Welcome, Gary. Qualifying could be tomorrow morning, yeah. Because if the visibility is low, that's not going to improve with the lights, is it? So it's 2:30 now. Qualifying is meant to start at 3 PM. Once it starts to get to about 4, I mean, I don't know. The visibility, yeah, could be an issue. That's why they cancelled F2. That's for today. Atmospheric says today. Wow. That is not what you want to see. Rain and thunder. You can see on the satellite map there the current situation. Oh, Game Muscle's a massive sim racing YouTuber. Maybe that's why it rings a bell. Less than half an hour to go, everyone, and it's not raining right now. It is not raining right now. It is wet in the paddock, but it is not currently raining. Which is interesting. Not currently raining. That's authentic Dutch coast weather though, isn't it? The spray, the mist, the wind. That's what it's like. That's the vibe. We want the authentic vibe. It's not Monaco, is it? Different sort of nautical theme.
Okay, understood.
And just a reminder to use the pit limiter in the pit lane.
Going on there. Welcome, Zach Sweeney. Zach Sweeney, do you recognise this username, Gamer Muscle Videos? Does that ring a bell with you? Gamer Muscle Videos. Is it videos? Half of them are gaming, half of them about muscles. I'm keeping an eye on the umbrellas, everyone. Umbrellas are up, umbrellas are down. Some people may just not care too much. Some people care a bit more. There's an umbrella just popped up there. Someone's coming out of the DHL corporate thing. They've got their hood up. It's about 50-50 on the umbrellas, on the umbrella front. Very localised rain, maybe. Very localised. Zach said he's that guy that does something on social media. I don't know, might be relevant. Yeah, I've heard the name, but I just can't put a finger on it. If you're Verstappen, it's your home race. Has not been beaten in any race format, Grand Prix or Sprint, in almost 4 months. I mean, talk about dominant. Max Verstappen is just dominating Formula 1. It feels more dominant than any Lewis Hamilton season. I'm not sure it feels as dominant as the Sebastian Vettel ones, but we will find out because he is going for the record. He asked me for an interview. Oh, maybe he's a fan. Maybe that's where I recognise the name from. "12 races, 10 wins, 7 poles for Max Verstappen. Welcome to Patient Lee. And welcome to Chris Brown. What's your rig, mate? The clue is in the name. Clue is the name. Mr. Monday just watched Gran Turismo. Did you see me in the movie? That's the important question. Did you see me in the movie? Welcome along, everyone. Make sure you're hitting that like button on the way in, by the way. Smash the old like button on the way in. Destroy it. I want to hear tales of destruction where you're like, nah, honestly, just destroyed it. Hit so hard, it's broken. Rendered unusable for anyone else. That satellite weather, I think, basically within that blue dot, there is another heavy rainfall cloud situation occurring. Very heavy. Yes, I am in the movie. I'm actually in the Gran Turismo movie. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. There we go. Island Grown seen it. You've seen me. It's actually this view. It's actually this view. This is what you see in the Gran Turismo movie of me. Except I'm Greek. You even see the brick wall. The brick wall's famous. You're famous, brick wall. The brick wall is famous. Welcome, Eddie Johnson. That's all thanks to your support, by the way. Everyone that... you know, subscribes, hit the like button, shares the video, you will make that possible. And maybe we can do something similar with F1. Maybe we can stream these at the races if we get the traction. And it's all like growing a little snowball. If we all grow the snowball, we all push the snowball a little bit, it turns into a bigger snowball, a bigger snowball, bigger snowball. And then we snowball and say to Formula 1, look, we want to do this live. We want to do it at turn 1. All I need is a little... I'll take my... One is an internet connection, and I will stream it live at the track. Imagine how cool that would be. I'm not sure about being a big star. It's a cool little Easter egg, though. If you go and see the Gran Turismo movie, you can watch out for that bit where I'm in. It's another advert for F1 Clash that is not actual gameplay footage. So what is the advert of? You may as well just show Formula 1 in real life. No worries, patiently. Appreciate it, my guy. Appreciate it. We got a big old target of 200 likes today. I think if we grow as a community, if we grow this to 200 likes and 300 people watching, I think that'd be a really good stream. Just remember some of your famous turn 1. Look, I'm sitting here in this dingy little room streaming F1 on the same setup we've done many times. I'm not going anywhere. Not streaming from the penthouse. How's everyone doing, by the way? Let us know who's having a good weekend. Who's having a bank holiday weekend? It's another advert for Oral-B. Does everyone get the same adverts, or are they targeted? Are they like targeting Oral-B and me in rugby? As a ex-rugby player that had my teeth bashed about. Yeah, speaking of that Oral-B advert and then the rugby advert, none of them were wearing mouth guards in the rugby advert. So no wonder. Kate's working all bank holiday weekend. That's it. Some people have to work. Some people have to work in the background. Some people working in the background. 22 minutes to go. By the way, I'm still waiting to get some shots of the track because I reckon that rain must be very close. Would you get royalties for being in it? I cannot. Not really, no. Not really, no. I don't think I can speak about the contract, but don't worry, I don't see stuff on the back end. I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe in the future, though. Maybe in the future. I do effectively see royalties for all of my YouTube videos because the royalty is every 1,000 people who watch a video, I get paid like a couple of dollars. That is sort of like a royalty. Welcome, Wallace and Romeo. I would say having a good weekend, but just got stitched in my toe, so yeah, might as well watch racing tonight. Sorry to hear that, Wallace. Sounds like no racing for you, but yes, you can watch, which is great. 21 minutes to go. Just more adverts. What is the situation on track? Let me see. Very windy, very cloudy, very coastal Netherlands, as you might expect. And I think there are more showers inbound for the track. But again, Sky have cut to a promo, which I don't care about. Considering that, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's been raining since they called off the F2 race. So if they'd carried on with that F2 race, and they might have actually dried up the track. Mr. Monday went on Thursday to watch Got Wrong Night and forced to watch Barbie. You can't win them all. Can't win them all, Mr. Monday. Having a look at some of the drama here for last year. Haas is going up the inside of McLaren's. Won't see that this year. But yeah, the Mercedes, George Russell is not that far behind in FP3. You'll see the new Alpine. Yes, the new Alpine hypercar looks and sounds really, really good. Blacker says we're having a big festival of streetwalkers here. Today is day 9. Lots of music, food, and performances happening all around the centre. Lots of streetwalkers. That would be a very different festival in LA, I can tell you. Wallace says seems to be raining more overhead. There's winter. Maybe yeah, that's in Netherlands. You have all the seasons all the time. It's like the UK on steroids. Don't know what they're doing on Sky now. It's some sort of quasi-comedy thing. And they're saying that the banking, that this big banky boy is about 18 degrees banking. So there is a banked corner at Zandvoort, in case you didn't know. Should mean that you should be able to carry more speed around it. Welcome, Trail. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. We are less than 20 minutes away from what we hope is going to be qualifying, but frankly, we just don't know. We just don't know. You can see there on the right hand side, that is dry weather, but it will not be like that. 100% will not be like that for qualifying. And they were almost done with their track walk, and hopefully we get some live footage. See who's gonna make it through Q1, Q2, Q3. There'll be some casualties in Q1, no doubt. There nearly always are. There should, on paper, there should not be, but in reality, there always are. You know, casualties. So it's funny how that works, isn't it? Funny how that works. So much wet weather around Netherlands right now. Very, very, very... I mean, we think about the tracks here, by the way. In that vicinity, you have Zandvoort... Spa, Nürburgring and Zolder are all quite close in proximity there. Vlacker is not impressed with the trail. Not impressed at all. Less umbrellas now I'm seeing. I'm seeing less umbrellas in the paddock. So I wonder if the conditions are drying but will get wetter again, which is a very interesting dynamic, because normally the conditions are getting drier. You want to be the person out on track last. If the conditions are going to get wetter, there might be an optimal point where you need to be out on track basically in the middle of the session, if that makes sense. Could be the case. By the way, I got my new fan. I know. Remember I said I was going to get a new fan? Have a look how beastly this fan is. For £50, I got like the beastliest fan. Welcome Sheikh Mansour Sheikh Mohammed. Good to have royalty with us. Did I hear you're planning on live streaming next Logitech HEC? I'll be streaming one of them. I'm not sure it'll be the next one. I think the next one's at Imola. Zandvoort needs to come to U7. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't do it when we were out in Amsterdam. I'm surprised I didn't announce it. Yeah, Zolder's a fun track. I actually really like Zolder. Danny just says Baba Aced. Baba Aced to you as well, Danny. I think there is actually going to be a dry line forming relatively quickly in these conditions. I have people down at the track, by the way, who are saying it is still wet, but when I look from the helicopter footage, I think it's going to dry up pretty quickly. Wow, less than 50 minutes to go till qualifying. How is Max Verstappen going to find the conditions? How is Sergio Perez going to do? Because sometimes he can struggle early on in qualifying. We know. George saying maybe it's a carnival. Maybe it's what we would say a carnival atmosphere. I'm not really seeing any umbrellas out at the moment. I think things have dried up quite considerably. And I wonder if we'll see people starting on the intermediate tyre, and it'll be a case of crossing over onto the dry weather tyre. I wonder if that is going to be the scenario here. What they're saying, they said earlier in the broadcast that the track tends to dry out quick, but what I saw the FT race is stupid amounts of water. There were in the FT race stupid amounts of water, but I think I'm starting to think we're going to see dry tyres in the session unless we see more rain coming in. Danny, nothing better than drying conditions, better than staring at a painted wall. But if those are your choices... Right, Vlad confirming that it might be a carnival, so there's going to be pictures of the carnival. I'm looking at the pit lane now. A lot of standing water in the pit lane, but it's funny. I haven't been racing in real life for so long. It feels like so long, but if I was there on the grid in my kart right now, I'm thinking, right, this is going to start wet, but there's going to be a dry line forming for sure. There will definitely be a dry line forming. 100%. 150%. I'm going to be super confident. I think they might be making some last-minute changes to Liam Lawson's car there. Atmospheric is saying the sun is shining at the paddock. Yeah, I think the sun is out. So it's very wet on the ground, but I believe the sun is out. It's just talking a load of nonsense on Sky. Wish I could just get a feed like of the race, but none of the extras. "11 minutes to go." I just want to see cars go out on track, frankly, and see who's going to get caught out, who's not going to get caught out, who's going to look really strong off the bat. I don't think we'll see soft tyres until... I don't think we'll see them in Q1, but I could be wrong. We could see them in Q1, and it could be that if you're someone that's got nothing to lose, you could be like, right, I'm going to whack on a pair of softs, but you'd need to give it a couple of flying laps. You wouldn't be able to time it for one flying lap. Danny says, slicks till you bin it. Well, that's the other way around, isn't it? I'm not sure about that strat, but maybe the Ferraris will do that.
Daniel, pit lane. Copy.
Oh, it's very sunny now in the pits.
Remember the pit lane speed limiter.
Very sunny in the pits now. It's a bit like what we can see in the top right. Almost the same. I do still think there is a ominous localized weather front on its way in that could cause havoc coming from west to east. Welcome to Louis Cypher. Yeah, very unusual conditions. It's hard to believe that a few minutes ago we were just cancelling an F2 race because it was dangerously wet. But that's the exciting thing about Formula 1 and motor racing. Right, sub 10 minutes to go, everyone. 10-minute warning. Max Verstappen is making his way to the car. Welcome to returning and new viewers. Yes, let us know if you're a returning viewer or a new viewer. Or maybe you're a returning new viewer, but does that make you a returning viewer? Max looks relaxed and confident. Yuki might have a blister in his hand or something. We've all been there. Oh, definitely sunny now in the grandstands. It is, yeah, full... It's a carnival atmosphere in the grandstands, I would say. Danny's a re-entrant. Very nice. And yes, 9 minutes to go till qualifying. So we'll see the drivers in their cars. We'll see if anyone is going to queue it up in the pit lane, wanting to get out super early. Maybe Sergio Perez or someone will want to stack it at the lights. Max has his different helmets with probably different visors already on them. You can swap your visors quite easily, but Dutch people will be cheering in a hurricane. Well, it says first time viewer, many videos watched. Hang on a second. How are you a first time viewer if you also watched many videos? That is a paradox. Please can you explain yourself? I don't understand that one. Do not understand. George Russell's in the car, sweating away. The man who finished FP3 and P2.
Yellow flags ahead.
Who's his Gamer Muscle video? Chat, anyone recognises Gamer Muscle videos? I'm a first time viewer, many Kira's punted. I recognise his name and this logo. Chat, does anyone recognise Gamer Muscle videos? Who is this mysterious account? Oh, new to watching streams. Very good. Once you've seen a stream, you'll be wondering why you never win the streams. Just unbelievable vibes. Unbelievable access. No, they're all F1 and oh, you're one of those PC. You're a PC sim racer, aren't you? Ha! Welcome to the land of consoles. What do you call an outspoken man with a really hard head? Is it Gamer Muscle Videos? Is that who it is? Where's my timer? Oh, there's my timer. 6. I just panicked there. I couldn't see it for like a split second. I went full panic mode. Where's my timer? Helmet. Okay, not bad. Not bad. What do you call an outspoken man with a really hard head? A helmet. It's not bad, to be fair. It's not bad. Atmospheric's never heard of him. Wow. Absolutely brutal. Tetris 99. Is Tetris sim racing? Is Tetris technically... Is Tetris the first sim racing game? Game Muscle Videos hopes we're well. Game Muscle Videos? Surely F1 need to send Game Muscle Videos to an F1 race to cover it from the track. Like literally on the track as the cars are going past. Black says Game Muscle Video sounds like someone I've heard about before. George Rogers says, really like that James West guy. Yeah, James West's a cool bloke. James West's a really cool guy, but I'm just speaking here about this Gamer Muscle Videos. Gamer Muscle Videos. Gamersphere, that would be amazing on a unicycle. Yeah, I don't know what's the relevance of the unicycle. V-Neck, you are the founder of the Lewis Hamilton fan club in the UK, if I remember. The hamster wheel will struggle. Here's my prediction. The hamster wheel is that's what you guys call Max Verstappen, isn't it? I must say, been enjoying a lot of streams, mainly watching Roaring and Amiga, new into the communities. This is where it's at, though. I mean, those are the warm-ups. Those are the warm-ups. This is where it absolutely pops off. And we are just 4 minutes away, everyone, from qualifying. I'm going to guide you through. I'm going to refresh the map here. I'm going to let you know what's going on with the weather. I'm also going to restart. Bear with me. It will be worth it. I'm going to just restart this session here, just so we can just have those vibes And you'll notice that I'm not even using the latest F1 Manager game. Because it's rubbish. So, just sticking with this one. Nice.
Radio check.
Yeah, is there a Formula 1 for unicycles?
Radio is good. Trick's good.
Back in the day?
Sessions should be starting now.
In fact, is unicycle racing even a thing? But yeah, we are almost there, everyone. Almost there. 3 minutes to go. It is not raining on the circuit as far as I can see, although now it's overcast again, which might be the precursor to some rain, possibly. Zandvoort, Netherlands, qualifying round 14 of the FIA Formula 1 World Championship 2023. As the championship returns to Europe after the break, after the Spa race. Is this taking data for F1? Yeah, I'm actually driving the car right now. So I have a controller here. You might not have seen these, but these are console controllers. They're really simple to use. And they're way more advanced than anything you get on PC. Because you probably, when you do sim racing, you use one of these, don't you, to steer? And to do the throttle and everything. Whereas on console, we use these, a bit more advanced. Right, we'll see what the tyre choices are going to be, everyone, in this race. If you can race it, it's a thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you can race it, there's a race championship for it. That was actually the prototype for the N64 controller. Those are really expensive N64 ones. Pinier is so excited. Welcome, Pinier. And there is rain in the vicinity, but there's no rain on the track right now. And we are going to go into a session that is going to be 100%, at least at the beginning, a drying session. So you will want to be out on track at the end of Q1, Q2 and Q3 respectively. If you get your timing wrong, if you mess up that last lap, there will be no second chances. Mac's been playing football this morning. He's going to play the field this afternoon. Let's see what's going on. The Orange Army is out there in force. Dutch people, very tall. Unusually, suspiciously tall. And there's a queue at the front of the pits, everyone. Going to end that timer at the top. We don't need it anymore because the session is starting. There's a queue at the front. They all want to get out there. I guess in case there is some sort of rain that drops in the next 5 minutes. In which case we could be on the fastest conditions. But yeah, massive queue at the front of the pit lane. Shane says, yay, soccer. Game was saying there's a huge weather front moving in. Yeah, there is off the North Sea. There is, if that hits the track, it will change everything, which is why I suspect some teams want to get some lap times in early. F1 Crazy saying it's scary how good Max is. Chat, this is your moment. Let me know where in the world are you watching the stream from. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. Always really... really cool to know. We're streaming this out from the United Kingdom. Welcome, Linda McAllister. Good to have you back. Mrs. F1. Lewis Hamilton's in the queue. Just redoing his gloves. Lando Norris is in the queue. Do you think Game Muscle will ever be brave and join one of your open GCM lobbies? I don't know. I heard that he set up a whole Gran Turismo 7 rig just for that. Pinier is watching from England. V-Neck from Oklahoma, Kate from UK, Trell from Boston, Atmospheric from the Netherlands, Linda the Netherlands, Wallace from Melbourne, F1 Crazy London, Shane logging in from Toronto, Lewis from Cape York. Where's Cape York? RC Me's watching from Finland, and Black Sounds from Swaziland, the landlocked nation within South Africa. Not within, do you know what I mean? Geographically located. Croatia from Vlatka as well. Cat Alb Warrior watching from Western NC Mountains, USA. I've got you covered. You can see on the timing we already have cars out on track, and it is Alex Albon and Logan Sargent who were front of the queue. So Williams did not mind about sitting at the front of the pit lane there. They were not bothered. 18 minutes to go in Q1, and you want to be in the top 15 here to make it through. So we'll keep an eye on the drop zone, a bit like the Premier League. Yes, please hit that like button, otherwise Gamer Muscle will come to your house and do it for you, and he will overstay his welcome and make you make him a cup of tea, and he will tell you stories about PC sim racing, which you don't want. So just hit that like button. 90 people watching. I know that we can get to 50 likes almost immediately. Let's rock and roll. Spy from Jamaica. Would be great to visit Croatia. It would be. Croatian GP. Charles Leclerc is rolling down the pits very, very, very slowly. He's on the intermediate tyres, as I presume everyone is, and that's because there's a queue getting out of the pits as drivers are trying to build themselves a gap. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen is one of the mechanics is wearing his hat, is coming out of the pits on the intermediates. We are from the UK, Linda. Yeah, Game Muscle's he's hired muscle. That's where the name comes from. Insane traffic. Yeah, traffic here is mad, very difficult to get out the way. Dragon tail, but with F1. 16 minutes to go, and let's see who's looking at what. Obviously, Alex Albon is going to be the first driver to set a time here. Max Verstappen on his outlap has already set a purple mini sector. Linda's from Netherlands, Rotterdam. We were in the Netherlands last week. Welcome, Richard Voss. Good to see you again. So Alex Albon will go provisional fastest here in Q1, but are we going to see a 122 or 121? How low can we get to the 1 minute 11s we were watching in FP2? 121.6 was the Max Verstappen fastest lap time in FP3 in wet conditions. Is more rain going to come in to the track? I mean, these are going to be the fastest lap. Alex Albon looks like he's backed off. He's backed off there in 131. He is definitely backed off in Sector 3. Logan Sargent has not backed off, so Logan Sargent will actually go provisional fastest in Q1, but then very quickly I think he's going to be overtaken by Valtteri Bottas. I always enjoy my time in Netherlands. Awesome place to visit. Very friendly people, very sort of welcoming, and yeah, welcoming people. There we go. Sargent wants to know George Russell has backed off in Sector 3. And then Hamilton goes provisional. But then Valtteri Bottas 126 or so. We're still 5 seconds off what we saw in FP3. And I really think these lap times are going to come absolutely crumbling down. I really do think we'll get down to those 121s. There's a lot of traffic out there on track, so you just need to keep circulating. And the team strategists, engineers, you need to make sure your driver is on the track, crossing that start-finish line, you know, just before the checker flag goes. Because none of these times are really going to matter at the end of the session, in my opinion. Although it's very wet now on the start-finish straight, and it's overcast. Is it going to rain again on start-finish straight? Is anyone going to run deep at turn 1? Are we seeing some localised rain already? Meanwhile, Alex Albon has gone off in Sector 3. That's why he did not complete the lap at top speed, because he actually went off. And there we go. First car off at turn 1 is a Haas. And unusually, I think as Kevin Maxson, he did not try and go for the escape road. On board here with Max Verstappen coming into turn 1. He turned in. Oh, Max Verstappen went off. Max Verstappen almost went into the barrier at turn 1. They come into turn 1 at such a rate. They turn in, and the car just does not turn. And both Max Verstappen and the Haas, rather than deciding to try and take the escape road, they really tried to make the corner, and they went scooting along the gravel trap there. So already we've seen 3 cars go into the gravel in Q1 in the first 4 minutes alone. And that's why Verstappen has not set a representative lap time. So you've got to get your lap times in, but they're going to come falling down. Are we going to go sub 1 minute 20? Verstappen's on the radio. What's going on with the car? I've no grip. I'm spinning everything everywhere. Verstappen is not happy, but he's always not happy. Let me just refresh that weather radar, because that is going to be absolutely critical here. to see whether more rain is going to come in. It's absolute carnage on the start-finish straight. Side by side between the Mercedes and Verstappen. Verstappen goes to start a lap. He's just been overtaken on the start-finish straight as he starts his lap. So he might have to back out of that one as well. Oh, dearie me. This might be a disaster start of the session for Max Verstappen. Meanwhile, yes, Lando Norris with the 123.2. But I wonder if we're going to see a red flag here as well, because drivers going off all over the shop. Absolutely everywhere. Really tricky conditions. Carrying the speed and people just turning in. And the tyres just not biting, just skidding along the water. I have to change his t-shirt, yes, Lando Norris. Hopefully Oscar can. Oscar's in P2. Oscar's having a very subtly confident sort of second half of the season, isn't he? Meanwhile, let's have a look what happens over the line. Alex Albon goes P3 and Sargent goes P4. That shows you just how quick the track is getting. Meanwhile, Hamilton's down in P19. Lawson's down there. Where is Verstappen? Verstappen's in last place. Verstappen's in last place, everyone. Sergio Perez goes P2 with, I believe, the fastest Sector 1. George Russell was on the move in Sector 1. There goes Carlos Sainz out of nowhere. Carlos Sainz goes into first place. Provisionally fastest in Q1. The track is getting drier all the time. You cannot afford to make a mistake on your final lap in this session because the track is getting faster a second a lap, basically. This is absolutely insane pressure. Where is Max Verstappen? You can see him there right at the bottom of the leaderboard. Yeah, big upgrades from McLaren. Kate saying incredible races today. Verstappen still no representative lap time, and it's the Ferraris at the top, only 7,000 of a second separating them. And here goes George Russell now at 22.9. I just have a feeling one driver is going to push this too hard and it's going to end up in the gravel beach and cause a red flag or in the Tech Pro at turn 1. That is my hunch here. Verstappen goes provisional fastest. Alonso follows him. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc, for the 4th time today, goes deep at turn 1 and takes the escape road. Charles Leclerc is not confident at all at turn 1. We've all been there at drivers when you're just not comfortable with a corner, and it's such a big commitment corner. You say look at Ferrari, Pete, but they've already dropped down. What are we looking at in the bottom 5? Magnussen, Lawson, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Guanyu, Zhou. And then we've got Gasly, Tsunoda there as well. Piastri's dropped all the way down to P11. Must have had a track time deleted or something. Or maybe that's just the evolution of the track. 10 minutes to go in Q1, everyone, and the track is just getting faster. There's gravel all over the shop as turn 1, as so many drivers are coming into turn 1 full chat and just not able to make the corner. And it's getting more overcast as well. There goes Oscar Piastri up to P1. So the McLarens fight back, and Alex Albon. It's all chop and change here. You cannot take your eyes off this at all. It's all about the standings. Unbelievable scene. I'm losing my voice. This is pretty crazy here. The McLarens fight back, but in the time it takes them to another lap, they'll drop down. Who needs to come back in? Who's going to change tyres? Or maybe you want to be on the scrubbed intes. Maybe scrubbed intes where it's at. What about the fuel? Linda saying it will stay dry. McLaren on fire. Yes, at the moment, but have a look. Carlos Sainz is looking strong in Sector 1. Sergio Perez is looking strong in Sector 2. Keep all eyes on Yuki Tsunoda. He goes P11. Not a good lap for Tsunoda, but what about Carlos Sainz? Sergio Perez goes P2. George Russell with the fastest Sector 1. This is absolutely insane. Carlos Sainz, has he backed out of Sector 3? Where is Sainz? Where is Sainz? No, Sainz with a very weird Sector 3 there. George Russell, there we go, Sainz into P7. But George Russell driver on the mood, and Fernando Alonso as well. Meanwhile, Lando Norris has done the fastest Sector 1 out of anybody. F1 is crazy, everyone. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream, please for me, make sure you hit that like button right now. Tap that like icon. Does massively help us out. I really personally appreciate it. Lawson is setting personal best. Yeah, Wallace is on Lawson watch. We all want him to do well, but keep an eye on Lando Norris here. It's a bit of a mix. Sector 2. George Russell was on the move. George Russell goes fastest. There we go. Was a man on a mission. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton are very close together. What's going to happen here with Alonso and Hamilton? Alonso goes P5. Hamilton has backed out of the last sector. Here comes Lando Norris. Lando Norris surely provisionally fastest. Yes, indeed. 6/10 faster than George Russell. So if you're a Lando Norris fan, you're feeling pretty good about that one. Esteban Ocon, meanwhile, he's setting some decent lap times. Charles Leclerc is back in it, as is Pierre Gasly. Can't take my eyes off this. There we go, Shane, finally convinced. Gasly says we are expecting rain in about 5 minutes. Alpine, with their French radar, are expecting rain in 5 minutes. That is before the session will end, because there's 7 minutes to go. So we could be watching some insane track evolution here, as Alonso and Hamilton are very close together. I wonder if that massively compromised Hamilton's lap there. I think Hamilton was catching Alonso. Who's on the move? Verstappen's on the move. Keep an eye on Verstappen. Goes faster out of anyone in Sector 1. Very good Sector 2 as well, you can see. Faster than George Russell. Oscar Piastri goes faster. No, it's a McLaren's fight back. It's a McLaren 1-2 at the moment. But keep an eye on Alonso and then Verstappen. Hamilton, I believe, completely backed out of everything. Here comes Alonso. Alonso goes P4. What about Verstappen? Will Verstappen go faster than the McLarens? We will see. Yes, he does. So close, though. Only 0.02 of a second for Max Verstappen. Hamilton, by the way, looks like he's gearing up for an attack now. Liam Lawson looks like he's in the pits, as is Hulkenberg. You don't want to be in the pits, gentlemen. You want to be out there. Carlos Sainz is coming out onto the track. You want to be circulating if the conditions are going to change. Pin is loving McLaren right now. Who is on the move? People on outlaps. People on outlaps. I think this could be critical. The next 2 minutes, if it is indeed going to rain. Verstappen P1, Piastri P2, Lando P3. Hamilton, meanwhile, is gearing up. He's on a 28.3. That's similar to Lando for Sector 1. How is he doing in Sector 2? Nothing crazy, it seems. Meanwhile, Kevin Magnussen is trying to get out of the drop zone. Bottas in the drop zone, Lawson, Hulkenberg, and Logan Sargent. Where is Alex Albon? He's in Pierre. Albon is on the move as well. So right now we've got coming round Lewis Hamilton and Alex Albon. Having a view here of Hamilton trying to get past Fernando Alonso. It's 2007 all over again. Hamilton on the radio saying, I got blocked. Hamilton blocked by Alonso. It won't matter too much if he can just get out of Q1. But right now, Oscar Piastri, oh my word, almost crashed into a Ferrari there. Piastri almost hit Charles Leclerc, had to go on the grass. Jesus, that was absolutely mad. Don't know what went on here. It was Leclerc coming out of the pits. Piastri might have been on a flying lap, and Leclerc just did not know. It was Carlos Sainz, my bad. Carlos Sainz almost took off Oscar Piastri's wing. Crazy scenes. Meanwhile, Alex Albon goes fast as chat. Have we just seen that? Alex Albon's in the 1 minute 20s. He could be safe. Is more rain going to come? Who is in the drop zone? Well, Lewis Hamilton is all the way down there, as is Valtteri Bottas. Piastri's on the mad one. Snow Lines identified that. George Russell is on the move. Perez on the move. Gasly on the move. Tsunoda setting a lap. Guanyu, Zhou will be trying to get out of the drop zone. Meanwhile, just bear with me here. Alex Albon with an absolutely insane lap. 0.3 quicker than Max Verstappen. Really proving his worth. Yeah, it was Carlos Sainz. Wallace and Bromett has identified that. But we are just 3.5 minutes away from the end of this session, ladies and gentlemen. And there is Esteban Ocon, Magnussen, Hamilton, Hulkenberg, and Liam Lawson in the drop zone. Logan Sargent managed to get up to P8. So there is time available. Chat, let me know in the comments right now, who is the big name you think is going to get dropped here in Q1? Who is going to be the big driver that does not get themselves out of Q1 here? Piastri and Sainz instant noted, forcing another driver off the track. Let me refresh the radar for you here as well. Here we go. Carlos Sainz in the drop zone as well. So Hamilton's on the move, Ocon on the move, Sainz on the move, Hulkenberg on the move. But you cannot make a mistake here or get blocked. It will just destroy your qualifying and your race weekend. No worries, Davina. Dimitri saying Hamilton is going to find himself. Hamilton is not out of the drop zone yet, and it's a mixed sector 2 for Lewis Hamilton. Alex Albon still looking supreme at the top. We've got drivers going around now on their out laps and maybe going to do double flying laps with 2 minutes to go. That'll include Verstappen, Piastri, Norris. But flying laps is Hamilton, 27.9 in both sectors. That should be good enough to get him up around the top 5, I would think. So let's see. And there goes Carlos Sainz up into P5, I believe, just at a lap time. And Hamilton only up into P10, Hulkenberg into P9. That pushes Fernando Alonso down into P15, very close from the drop zone. Davina saying Leclerc, Pin saying Leclerc. Linda saying Alonso could get dropped. We will see. Alex Albon looking supreme, 1 minute 30 to go. So you got to get over the line here if you want to set on a lap time. Race control have noted the instant between Hamilton and Leclerc. There is the cars coming round here that will not get another lap. That is George Russell and Esteban Ocon have arrived 10 seconds too late. Same with Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton. They will get one more lap, and Liam Lawson. So they are they all started that train 10 seconds too late. They won't get the other one. Stone saying Alonso, wake up and smell the coffee. Where is Alonso? Alonso right now is in P10. I wonder, is someone going to bin it here? What an exciting Q1. And we've still got the majority of qualifying to go. Maybe someone will go deep into turn 1. Anyone looking good? Is it getting wetter, by the way? Is it getting wet? I'm not seeing a lot of purple mini sectors. Oscar Piastri bucking that trend by doing a purple sector 2. But you look at the bottom half of the grid, I'm not really seeing anyone improve. So Esteban Ocon's in trouble. Bottas in trouble. Charles Leclerc is in massive trouble here. Charles Leclerc, my word, he surely needs to get out of that drop zone. Yeah, Albon at the moment, Albon's looking exceedingly safe. But I'm feeling for the Ferraris here, 27.7. That's 4/10 off what Piastri could do. 28.3 though was, I don't know. Keep an eye on Charles Leclerc. Where does Leclerc go? Only into P14. He's right on the brink. Is Charles Leclerc. Is Logan Sargent going to be able to overcome him? It's checkered flag. So only drivers who are finishing a lap will be able to improve, and that's not Logan Sargent. I wonder if this is it. This could be it. So, Charles Leclerc survives, but it is... Logan Sargent gets through. 2 Williams making it through to Q2, one of them in P1. If you knew nothing about Formula 1, you would say Williams are one of the strongest teams right now. Guanyu, Zhou, P16, Esteban Ocon 17th, Magnussen, Bottas, Lawson. So we lose both Haas's and we lose both Alfa Romeos, and we lose the AlphaTauri of Liam Lawson as well. Very dramatic. Alan saying Ferrari will bin it. Wow. Like I said, it all came down to the end, but it seemed to me like the track evolution, it got a little bit wetter. So it wasn't a case of being there right at the end, it was a case of being there about 5 minutes before the end. And some drivers like Esteban Ocon really got caught out though. Meanwhile, look at the gap that Tsunoda pulled on Liam Lawson. Whose car? Yeah, Albon. I mean, what was he eating for breakfast there? Going P1 in Q1, but obviously that all counts for nothing in Q2, because as long as you're in, the slate gets reset, and we will go again to find our top 10 shootout. Let us know in the comments, by the way, if you're new to F1, if you're an F1 veteran. Always really handy to know. Super handy to know. Guanyu Zhou going over the weighbridge, but he won't really care too much because he's all the way down in P16. And a lot of hoods up in the pit lane. I wonder if it is raining again. Charles Leclerc, one lucky driver there. And meanwhile, let's not forget that Perez only one position ahead and Hamilton one ahead of him. I wonder if Alonso will be getting a penalty though, and also potentially Carlos Sainz for two very dicey side-by-side moments there in qualifying. No worries, Timothy. Hope you're doing well. We are back now. Formula E poached me. Formula E poached me for the last race. But we're back here with Formula 1. What's better, Formula E or Formula 1? Different vibes, you know. Just changed my battery here. I'm doing a pit stop as well. There we go, everyone. Nice. And people like F1. No Formula E fans in the chat. No Formula E fans. The screaming whine of Formula E. Lewis says Sainz should get a penalty. Yeah. We will see. I mean, Sainz was obviously penalised at a previous race. He's quite emotional about it. But there we go. Those are our results. And I think driver of Q1 has to be, I think, Alex Albon, but also Logan Sargent getting through as well. Very impressive to see Logan Sargent get through. Yeah, I just spots. What was the timing on my pit stop there? What was the pit stop timing? Let me know. I just need to tap some stuff on the old keyboard. But if you're watching where we are about to get ready for Q2, and I think it's going to get wetter, and I think it could get quite a bit wetter as well. Quite a bit wetter. So just bear with me a second. Just doing a little thing on the old back end there. Hang on a second, everyone. I agree with you, Luz. I think someone will go off the track here. I think someone will go too hot into Q1 and they will actually hit the barrier and they won't be able to save it. Right, we are back. We are back. Crazy predictions. I mean, you let me know. Will Alex Albon get into Q3 is the big one. Anyone predicting Albon into Q3? He's done it before. By the way, look at those sector times between Albon and Verstappen. I mean, how has Alex Albon done that? Very, very, very impressive in the Williams. How many laps is the Grand Prix? They normally last about 1.5 hours. So you just work out the lap time, do some maths. I have a look here at Hamilton, who got massively impeded so many times. And he's not happy with Fernando Alonso that time. Ryan's saying Albon in Q3 for sure. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is Kevin Magnussen who went off at Q1. There were some drivers really, really struggling, like consistently all the way through free practice and qualifying. Like Charles Leclerc, clearly struggling here. Kevin Magnussen as well. Ocon has been struggling as well. Just not super confident. Naughty saying the Williams at the final weekend, not a huge... rain, I believe. Rain on the track right now. Get out early. Queue up in the pit lane. What are you waiting for? Stack it up. The fastest laps are going to be at the beginning here. Yes, everyone's now in the pit lane. Why are we sleeping? Come on. We got to go. Oh, they're all queuing up. They're all trying to get ahead of everyone else. This is going to be very dramatic because it's basically a one-shot Q2 at the beginning because I believe it is getting wetter. Welcome, Sun Kono. By the way, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, do what Syncono's just done. Hit that subscribe button. I know so many of you subscribed already, but you don't want to miss these streams. It's the best place to hang out. And we are green light for Q2. And again, it is a Williams out on front. James Fowles and that team just so on it. It's great to be a Williams fan right now. And he is out there, and there's a Red Bull out in second. Because the track is getting wetter, I believe, or could be getting wetter. In fact, it's 2 Red Bulls. 2 Red Bulls. Those teams will be at opposite end of the pit lane, surely. Steve Latkes, great having you with us as always. Looking forward to the festival pictures. Hope you're doing well in Croatia. Always a legend of the stream. Immortal. Yeah, even Sargent made it through. Really nice lap time from old Logue. But let's see what happens here. Christian Horner looks like he's praying. Surprised he hasn't done the rain dance yet. Doing the whole Christian Horner weather forecast. Some of us prefer science, but not Christian. Lewis saying, give a nod to Sargent, very nice. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a red flag here. I'd say red flag percentage is higher than 50%. Also, we could see some shenanigans. I'm thinking Rosberg at Monaco. I'm thinking Perez at Monaco last year. If you set a lap time and you go provisional fastest in Q2... No, it won't work in Q2. That could happen in Q3. Save that thought. Verstappen, meanwhile, is just really, really slow on, I believe, the entry to the last corner. Just making sure he's got a gap. And then he goes. Everyone on the Inters... I don't know what Lance Stroll... Yeah, Lance Stroll didn't come out. I think everyone on the Inters and Fernando Alonso, I think one of the last to come out. Welcome, Gaming Nation. Good to see you. Alan saying red flag imminent. Yeah, it could be. It could be. It could be. We will see. Verstappen's out on track. Who's going to push it too hard? Verstappen. So it's Logan Sargent which front of the queue. So Logan will go out, but Verstappen is absolutely just dominating him, to be honest. He's already a second up with the last sector to go. So let's see what happens. We'll see Sargent go provisional fastest in Q2, but then very quickly we will see Max Verstappen take that crown. It's a 123, so it is slower than what we were seeing. Remember the 120s we saw in Q1, and there goes Verstappen, 121.9. That is 2 seconds slower than what we saw in Q1. 2 seconds slower. If that doesn't tell you about track evolution, nothing will. Welcome back, Deacon Do. Deacon Do or Deacon Don't? I think today we're all feeling very much Deacon Do. Sergio Perez, meanwhile, 125. Who's on the move behind? Remember, you want to be in the top 10 here to get through. Verstappen with a huge amount of opposite lot coming into the last corner. We saw him lose control there, didn't we? In FP3, George Russell goes into P2 and Alex Albon goes into P3 provisionally. Oscar Piastri on the move. The McLaren's looking very strong, but I really do think someone is going to probably carry too much speed here and just go too deep and bin it. I think it's very, very, very likely. Very likely. Piastri on the move. Is that Verstappen as well, doing a double back-to-back qualifying lap? So Verstappen leading to going faster. Lewis saying Perez also. Is that a prediction or a spoiler? Look at Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso. But also Max Verstappen is going to go even faster again, I believe. Let's see what happens with Verstappen. 129 to beat from his previous lap time. It is going to be a 120.6. We're basically back where we were in Q1. I remember 1 minute 11 looked to be the dry times. When are we going to hit a crossover point? Are we going to hit a crossover? Is someone going to gamble on it? Just over 10 minutes to go here in Q2. Lewis Hamilton will want a less dramatic Q2 than he had in Q1 for sure, and he goes P6, and Mercedes currently P4, P6, with Aston Martin P3 and P5, and Williams P2 and P7, so it's all chop and change at the top. Max going to pits after this. Well, we'll have to see. Snowline approves of that from Max Verstappen at the top of the pack. Pin saying it's changeable. It is changeable. Norris in fourth. Anything can happen. Now Norris is down in P12. Welcome to John Hage, Game Nation 12. Make sure keep your subscriptions coming, everyone. You guys and girls grow the channel. We could be on 53,000 subscribers. You guys can let me know because I can't see it. But let's hit those targets. Oscar Piastri meanwhile goes into P2 but 121.3. So no one else has got close to the 20s yet. Max Verstappen in the class of his own, whereas I think that might be Pierre Gasly taking a trip across the gravel. What's the grey looking like? Well, right now it's sunny. So there might have been a quick shower, but it's sunny right now, and I think we're going to start to see a dry line. I predict at this rate we will see the soft tyre coming on in Q3. Looks like Piastri was a little bit impeded there by Pierre Gasly. Very dramatic. Natasha Nicole saying, "What's wrong with you, Carlos Sainz?" Carlos Sainz, what's wrong with you? We will see. He might be gearing up for a better lap time. Sargent in Q3 at this rate. Difficult to bet against it. I'm looking right now at the drop zone. Albon, Gasly, Norris, Tsunoda, but someone just went up there. Carlos Sainz is back down into P12. There is an awful lot of traffic, by the way, on the circuit. An awful lot of traffic. Very, very difficult to navigate. Can completely ruin your lap. As Alex Albon goes P2, and Verstappen is on the move again, I believe. Lando goes P1. So you've got Lando P1. Verstappen's on the move. He's gone 3 tenths quicker than Albon in Sector 1 alone. And he's gone quicker than Lando Norris. But it's Lewis Hamilton that's got the fastest Sector 1. So the track is really drying now. Will we see anyone brave at the end to go onto soft tyres? I predict we're going to go sub 1 minute 20 with this lap potentially from Verstappen, or get very close. Let's see. Is it going to be sub 1 minute 20? Is it going to be about the 1 minute 20 dead mark? 1:20.1. It's a 1 minute 20.2, so we're still not sub 1 minute 20. The Lando fans are happy with Lando P2. Lando needs pole. Martin's with the weather update. Let's see. Meanwhile, in the drop zone, we've got Russell, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Hamilton, Sainz. What can Hamilton do? Very quick Sector 1 from Hamilton, and he goes P3. So Hamilton goes P3, and Russell goes P5. They must be very close together on track. Indeed, I think they're only 5 seconds apart. Charles Leclerc now, both Ferraris in the drop zone here. They'll want to make amends, and Charles Leclerc manages to go into P6. But if we're honest, it's over a second behind Max Verstappen. I'm not sure that's going to cut it. It's hard to keep track here, everyone. It's very hard. Naughty saying Merc only good in Sector 1. Sector 1 merchants, I've heard. Meanwhile, Piastri again goes faster than Sector 2. He likes that sector. What can he do overall? Can he solidify his route through into Q3? Alonso is sliding more dangerously down, by the way. Let me just bear with me here. Just send out a car. Piastri goes into P4. He's up there. Alonso still in P9. Sargent, and then Sergio Perez all the way down in P11. Carlos Sainz on the move. Pin support in the Brit boys. Linda says Max will get P1. We will see. It's still only Q2. Such a long time to go. What can Carlos Sainz do? And with 6 minutes to go, Sainz saying track is drying super quickly. We need a new intermediate. The thing is that scrubbed intermediates might be the fastest tyre. Might be faster to be on scrubbed intermediates than either fresh intermediates or soft tyres. We've seen that before, where you just cannot afford to change your tyre. Carlos Sainz, what is it going to be from Carlos Sainz? It's not an improvement from Carlos. It's not an improvement. Very unusual. And Sergio Perez is also down in the drop zone, but he's on the move. Naughty saying Merc Sector 1, McLaren Sector 2, Red Bull Sector 3. Jesus saying Max, Hamilton, Piastri, Alonso. Is that your prediction? Verstappen is out on track again. He's just a machine setting purple sectors. I think they want to go sub 1 minute 20 and make this sure. No issue with tyre sets here because they're all doing it on the intermediates right now. Unless someone is going to be super brave. I think they're near the crossover point. Black sounds. Yeah, other teams just want to get through into Q3, but Verstappen's in a league of his own here. League of his own. Gone half a second quicker than Lando in Sector 1 alone. I think we're going to witness our first sub 1 minute 20, neither FP3 or qualifying. Maybe Albon back. Yeah, Albon back to Red Bull. Stranger things have happened, everyone. Here comes Verstappen. What's it going to be? 1 minute 19.6. So the lap times are tumbling. Absolutely tumbling here. No one is safe. I'm going to call it now. With 5 minutes to go, no one is safe here. Every driver in the top 15 can go sub 1 minute 20 in these conditions. So you have to keep circulating. Perez goes around P2, but he's a second behind his teammate. Just Max Verstappen domination here again, we're seeing. By the way, if you're liking this stream, hit that like button right now. Make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss these streams, I'm telling you. Sometimes they get hidden away, but we're always here. Why is Leclerc 7th? Well, he's 8th. What a conundrum that is. Alex Albon, meanwhile, has gone... Wow, look at that. Alex Albon has gone a second quicker than Sergio Perez in Sector 1 alone. You did not mishear me. Alex Albon has gone a second quicker than Sergio Perez in Sector 1 alone. Absolutely crazy. These lap times are going to come falling down, and this is where you want to be with the live standings here, because this is where it's all going to... You're going to see the lap times develop. Yuki Tsunoda on the move as well. Let's see what happens. The Alex Albon lap time is going to be really indicative. If he can go anywhere near like a 1 minute, low 1 minute 19, then everything is up for grabs for everyone. Everything will be up for grabs for everyone. What is Alex Albon going to do? 1 minute 19.3. Yes, it is a low 1 minute 19 in a Williams, so no one is safe. You want to be timing this just right, and you want to be out on the track when it says dry, and you don't want anyone to be getting a red flag. Snowline saying this is best international from the community. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, we'll be here tomorrow. Pin is loving it. I mean, it's breathtaking to keep track of it, by the way. It's very, very, very difficult. Oscar Piastri is out on track. Fernando Alonso goes up there into P4. And Hamilton was on the move as well. Lando Norris is not going to have the best lap time. No, he doesn't. Looks like Verstappen is still in the pits, maybe. So not circulating. With 2.5 minutes to go, they might think like they're done. I will tell you, stranger things have happened. Max Verstappen could potentially drop out of this. You literally only heard that here first. No worries, Pin. Got the best chat here. We're lucky to have the best chat in Formula 1, which makes all the difference. What is Oscar Piastri going to do? Again, he goes fast in Sector 2. He loves Sector 2. He's properly hooked up. Can he go ahead of Verstappen and start to really question the Red Bull strategy here? Let's see, let's see, let's see. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll is out on track as well, and everyone else is going to be sitting fastest laps very near to the end. There we go. Oscar Piastri goes just ahead of Alex Albon, so he's gone in 1 minute 19.3. Let's keep an eye on Lance Stroll. Where will Lance Stroll end up? I don't think it's going to be super close to Piastri. I think he's going to be about 7-8 tenths off. We will see. But can he go sub 1 minute 20? Lance Stroll, no, he can't go sub 1 minute 20. So not a very good lap there for Lance Stroll. Charles Leclerc, meanwhile, sets the fastest Sector 1 out of absolutely anybody. So he is on the move. Perez is up to P6. Hamilton's down in P11. But look at someone like Sergio Perez. I wonder if they are going to get overtaken. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton can only do a 1 minute 20.1. So not looking great for Lewis Hamilton. And Lando Norris needs to do something as well. I don't know if we're going to hear the Dutch anthem. They only play it once, by the way. They only play it once. Pretty sure. Carlos needs to do something. Can we just poke Carlos and say, Carlos, do something. Do something, Carlos, otherwise your weekend's going to be absolutely trash, mate. Hulkenberg, can he be a fly in the ointment? I don't know how he managed to get out of Q1, but he did. Sneaky boy Hulkenberg. Max Verstappen on the move again. Are we going to go sub 1 minute 19 here? Who is going to get caught out in this game of musical chairs? 30 seconds to go. I will let you know who is going to get over the line and get another lap. One of those drivers is going to be Charles Leclerc. It's all stacked up at the end. It's going to be a disaster. It's all stacked up at the end here as they're all waiting to be the last driver to cross the line. and they're all going to trip each other up. Charles Leclerc goes over with 10 seconds to go, but he's got a car ahead of him that he's going to run into. Disaster for Charles Leclerc. I don't know who it is, but the traffic at the end here is horrendous. So that could be really bad news for someone like Lando if he's caught up in that. Oh, Haas almost loses it. Nico Hulkenberg goes fast and furious Tokyo drift, drifts it all the way around. I was certain that was going to be a massive crash. That is going to look good in the slow-mo, and he's only 100th behind on that sector. He is really pushing it. He does not give an F. Nico Hulkenberg is on the absolute limit here. He does not care if he crashes at all. It's quite extraordinary to watch from Nico Hulkenberg. He's on the dry line, going around the last corner, I believe, on the banking. What's Nico Hulkenberg going to do? You see it before me. He couldn't go any faster anyway. What a waste. And Verstappen goes P1, 18.8. Who's in the drop zone? Carlos Sainz very close. Sergio Perez very close. Lewis Hamilton is done. Lewis Hamilton is out. Will not get into Q1. It's a disaster for Lewis Hamilton. Impeded in Q1, but it didn't make too much difference in the end because he's only going to end up starting the race in P13. Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, not good news for them. And looks like Logan Sargent is going to get through. Believe this or not, Logan Sargent is going to get through into Q3. Both Williams into Q3. And meanwhile, both Alpines not getting in. So the Williams are better than the AlphaTauris, the Alfa Romeos, and the Haases. And it's a crazy. Great job by Williams there. Lance Stroll as well, not getting in. I'm surprised. One of my friends who works for Williams, he's a mechanic for Williams, back at the factory in the UK, he's at the Grand Prix and he is absolutely loving it here because Williams are doing a great job. But she says, Assetto Corsa, not right now, we're busy, we're otherwise engaged. Logan Sargent, take a bow. Williams, for me, are the surprise package here. No one binned it as well. But I'm telling you, Nico Hulkenberg was trying his best. Really look, he's trying his best. Alonso gets through in P4. Let me know who your driver of qualifying is so far in the chat. Let me know. I want to hear from you. Who's been the surprise package for you in chat? Because this is shaping up to be very tasty. Meanwhile, I think Lando Norris absolutely pulled one out of the bag there. I think it was very close for Lando to not make it through to Q3, but he managed to do it, so fair play to Lando. Now what I'm going to do is just for Q3, I'm just going to again just restart this so we have the vibes, we can all take a breather, make sure we've liked the stream. Chat, 440 people watching, but only 64 likes. For me, come on, this is personal, this is human to human. Please hit that like button for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Share the stream as well. Just share the stream on your socials. Hit that YouTube share button. Share it on Facebook, Insta, Twitter. I don't care where. Just share the stream. Share the love. Because this could be a very exciting Q3. And I need to let you know what the conditions are going to be like. Because are we going to see more rain or is it going to be drying? Are we going to see a crossover from the intermediate tyre into dry weather tyres? Because that could be an absolute masterclass Uno reverse by Williams there. If they're able to get that right. It's an advert for Colgate now. Why am I getting so much toothpaste adverts? Yeah, making me feel very self-conscious streaming to 400 people getting a load of toothpaste adverts. But I use GSK toothpaste anyway. Alexander says Williage. Close but no cigar. Sublica says Team Charles. Ryan, Albon and Lando are continuing on form from before the summer break. We will see. Davina, Albon is beating Perez constantly. That is a very good point. Albon is just, if this was basketball, Albon would just be dunking over Perez. That's what we're getting. Good lap by Fernando. Yeah, Nando right up there. But Verstappen again in a class of his own. Hamilton's out. Sorry to the Hamilton fans. Thank you, Davina. Thanks, Kate. Yeah, nice one to say the mixed weather. Thank you to Netherlands for arranging this rain over the circuit. Very considerate. Very considerate. Considering F2, by the way, the F2 race was cancelled because it was too wet. And I think we're going to finish this race on the dry tyres. That was my prediction before we started. And I stand by it. I stand by my prediction. Stand by my prediction. Look at that. Look at the mixture of colours up there. Red Bull, McLaren, Williams, Aston Martin, Ferrari, Mercedes. 6 different manufacturers in the top 6. You love to see it. Although, a lot of Mercedes engine cars there, right? Good year for Russell so far, yeah. Good year for old GR63. And people really need to push it now. Really need to push it. Verstappen, does he just have the time in the battle? I've been here when I race in real life. If you're racing someone that's faster than you, they can do it comfortably and you need to really push it. And I wonder if that's Piastri, if that's Lando, they need to really push it. Whereas Verstappen can do it comfortably. Yeah, we'll be doing the same with the race cars. So what you've got to do is just make sure you're subscribed. And then check out the page where the race tomorrow is already scheduled. And we'll be here for the race. Which I'm excited about. Very excited about this one. Because if the weather's going to be similar as well, well, let's send some more rain over from the UK. Welcome to James Melia. Snowline has soaked through his crying towel. Who's that? Wallace and Robert loving Piastri at the moment. Driving us, yeah, we got loads of Piastri fans in this community from down under. Fortunately, he's the only oh my goodness, it's full sun now, Zandvoort. It looks like a Amsterdam holiday summer trip to Zandvoort. Full sun. We are going to go to dry weather tyres 100%. Who is going to be brave enough? Norris saying could try a slick. So Lando wants to go onto slick tyres. Maybe what's going to happen, because if you're going to go onto slicks, you may as well start on slicks now and get the track info. You may as well do that. I'm trying to see for you, chat, what people have on their car at the moment as we're about to start Q3, the top 10 shootout. Super saying Hamilton's year. Nicky DB saying Sergeant Goat. Sergeant taking over from Nicholas Latifi. Tsunoda and Hamilton is to be noted for impeding. I think Hamilton just ultimately just did not have the pace when it counted there. But look how close it was there near the top 10. It was very, very, very close. A bit like F1 esports level close. By the way, 95 likes. We're almost there. Thanks so much, everyone. 5 more likes and we hit the big 100. And it gives us all a big boost of energy that we're big dogs. We're big dogs in the F1 live streaming space here. So we are just a couple of moments away from the start of Q3, and I'm very excited to tell you what is going on the tyre front. You can see Oscar Piastri and George Russell out already. So what are we going to see on the tyres, everyone? This is it. This is where the ultimate connection between engineer and driver and the track conditions and track knowledge and driver aptitude all has to come together at the right moment in the right circumstances if you want to do really well in qualifying. If any one of those ingredients is missing, then you will underperform. That's why we see Ferrari underperform so much. Sergio Perez doesn't seem to work for him either. What are we looking at on the tyre front, everyone? Davina, imagine if Sargent calls the tyres right. Yeah, strange things have happened. Rich is saying slick's not a bad idea. What do you feel like it is right now, chat? Do you feel like slicks or wet weather tyres? It's a mixture. Here we go. Piastri on the inters. Albon on the softs. Russell on the softs. Sainz on the softs. Sargent on the softs. Leclerc and Perez on the inters. Ferrari have split their strategy. Ferrari have split their strategy here. Unbelievable. Sainz on the softs. Leclerc on the inters. Need another commentator here, don't I? We need to get someone else in the commentary booth. Fire in the booth. Right, here we go. Max Verstappen out on the inters. Whoa, okay, this is tasty. This is tasty. It's pretty much a 50-50 split so far now between inters and softs. There's definitely a dry line here. There's definitely a dry line. And if, like I said, if you start on the softs now, even if you don't set the fastest lap time in the first runs, you're going to be more acclimatized for those runs right at the end when the track will be at its fastest, presuming there's no red flags or double yellows or stuff like that. Wow, wow, wow. We haven't seen people on the soft tyres today. All of FP3. In fact, the McLaren's already in. They're already changing the McLaren. They're taking off the inters. They didn't even do a lap. They did an out lap that was also an in lap. And isn't that how the Killers song goes? And they're putting him onto soft tyres. Kate says maybe this guy gamer muscle. Maybe this guy gamer muscle indeed. 100% agree with that statement. No idea what it means. You have my support there. And Verstappen went out on inters. He's on the radio. I think he'll be saying, get me on the hell onto slicks, please. Could this be a mistake by... Look at that, 1 minute 15 for Alex Albon on the soft tyre. George Russell, GR, on the soft tyre as well. This is soft tyre conditions. Get the hell off those inters. What are you doing wasting your time? Verstappen needs to come in and get off those intermediate tyres. That was a bad call by Red Bull. A bad call by Red Bull. Richard saying, thrust me slicks. Steady with the language there, Richard. Ryan, pretty much a dry line through the whole track. Yeah, indeed. We are definitely in dry conditions right now. 100% dry conditions. 100%. Alex Albon and Logan Sargent. It's a Williams 1-2. Stop the count. Stop the count, everyone. Red flag it. Williams front row lockout. My engineer mate will be really enjoying that. Red Bull, yeah, catastrophe. Verstappen's now had to come out again. Carl saying, oh, yellow flag is set to 1. Maybe. Oh, no! No, 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 no! No! Red flag. Red flag, everyone. Red flag. It is going to be a Williams 1-2. It is going to be a Williams 1-2. But one of the Williams, Logan Sargent, has binned it. He has no front wing. He has no front suspension. He has no rear wing. So you're better off counting the bits of the car that he does have. And my Williams engineer mate, who's at the track, has just messaged me something that I can't repeat here, otherwise, because we're a family-friendly stream. But you can imagine what he said. It began with the word F. And ended with the word hell. Logan Sargent has binned it. Logan Sargent is off. Lewis Cypher, I called it. I thought we last session, but I knew it would be him. That's how people say at the football. I knew it would be him giving away the penalty. Logan Sargent crash, everyone. Logan Sargent crash. I believe really early on in the lap. Maybe he just started his second flying lap or something. Now, who's got their conspiracy tinfoil hat? Who's got the conspiracy tinfoil hat? Mr. Amazing Gary says that's Ionic. That's Hyundai Iconic, isn't it? Oh, I messed that up. Big impact, though. Deep impact for Logan Sargent. Obviously, we saw Ricciardo breaking his thing in his hand. Logan saying he's okay, he's sorry. Wow, what does this mean? So we're in red flag conditions right now. Red flag conditions. But the clock has paused. And also the track is ironically drying all the time. There's 8 minutes 13 to go. By the way, because of that mess up from Red Bull, Verstappen did not set a lap time. Because of that mess up. Welcome, Frank Clank. Chat, I know there's more of you watching that are not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. I know so many of you are subscribed as well, but come on, I know there's more amongst you that have not yet subscribed. And if you grow this channel, we will be there next year. I promise you, we'll be there. And we'll be streaming live from the track. That's the vision. That's the dream. We can make it happen. Will they restart with 8 minutes left? I'd be amazed if they don't restart it. But for the drama factor, we'd see Carlos Sainz in P3. But who on earth at Red Bull put Max Verstappen out on intermediate tyres? That I want to know. Even I called it as saying, you've got to come out on softs. You have to go out on softs. plenty of time left. Yeah, 8 minutes 13 on the clock, everyone. 8 minutes 13 to go. But, yeah, wow. That is very, very, very interesting, isn't it? Exceedingly interesting, I would say. The red flag, they need to recover that car. They may need to repair the Tech Pro barrier. We will see. Oh, Carl, welcome to Legend. Thank you so much, Carl. Can we get some claps out for Carl joining the membership, getting all the members access, the emojis, the exclusive members lounge in the Discord. There we go. Welcome, Carl. Get some claps out for Carl, please, in the chat there. Supporting the channel with a membership. Best live commentary on YouTube. We just do. It's the best. We have the best community on YouTube. Best community, hands down. Oh, there we go. Look at the love there for Carl joining the membership. They're doing a concert during the red flag. That's very Dutch. What does this mean? What if they were to cancel it? What if? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, any Williams fans would be like, this should be for safety reasons. They should cancel this session. Chat, cancel or no cancel? End the session or not end the session? Let me know in the chat. What should we be doing here? End the session or not end the session? Alex, I don't think 8 minutes long enough to restart. What does this mean? You see Verstappen would be down there in P7. Cancel it. JJ says no, don't cancel it. Nut says no. Evo says continue. Snowline says carry on. Live Track says just wait. Welcome Caitlin as well. Welcome Anchi. Carl says don't end the session. Oh, what do we think? They're still recovering that. He went into the Tech Pro. He went into the Tech Pro there. I'm going to have a look now. I'm having a look. He goes around. Oh. Oh. It's a weird place to lose it, isn't it? It's a very weird place to lose it. There was a guy looking at it, just waving a green flag. Like there was a marshal, he saw the crash happen. The crash happened, carbon fibre everywhere, really bad crash for Logan Sargent, and he's just waving this green flag, like staring at it. That's how they roll in the Netherlands. I like it. They like to live dangerously. Williams needs to pray for rain. Peter says cancel. Devan says don't end it. Ashton says end it. Nigel says end. Albon doing a rain dance right now. Yeah, welcome Mario, Kenneth McGregor, Rodrigo Fernandez. Welcome. There we go. Starting to get the community into the starting to grow the community. Caitlin, I'm Red Bull. I still think Matt Storm 7 can still win. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, there's a big impact from Logan there, and he went in sort of sideways. Hopefully, had his hands off the wheel. Because obviously, all of the load force you get from the front wheels transfers back into your steering wheel. What I'll do for the stream tomorrow is I'll get my Formula 1 steering wheel, my FSR rim, and I'll have that here so I can show you my Formula 1 steering wheel if you want to see it. If you want to see the F1 steering wheel. And we'll also tomorrow we'll premiere into my exclusive interview with John-Eric Verne. So I interviewed John-Eric Verne, spoke to him about Formula 1, Formula E and WEC. So if you want to see that, we'll premiere into that tomorrow. Snap oversteer, yes indeed. Evo, doesn't matter where Max starts, he'll still win. That Red Bulls are too fast. Frimpong Edit says, is it a bad crash? It was quite a bad crash. Frimpong Edits, do you edit highlights of Emmanuel Frimpong? Is that your channel? It wasn't the same location where Ricciardo went off. No, he lost the back end and sort of went back round into the track. Alex, either way, Sargent in Q3 is a dub. Yeah, I'm not sure on the dub ratio. It might have turned into a U now because breaking your car for Williams, it takes the shine off it a little bit, it takes the edge off it. And also with the track getting faster, he might end up down in P10. Caitlin will see it. Okay, we'll have to see whether we do or not. Because some of them do well, some of them don't do well. That's the name of the game. Still under red flag conditions. I will let you know when we are going to be going green flag again. And I think we're going to be very, very dry conditions. Life Tracker winning car like Red Bull still needs a max to win it all. They're still, by the way, by the Tech Pro barrier, and they have 5 recovery vehicles there. By the way, let me know right now, if you don't know what Tech Pro is, I have all the footage ready to make a video explaining what happens after a crash at a racing event. What do they do with the barrier? What do they do with the surface? What do they do with the oil? What do they do with the damage? I've got a video where I'm ready to go, so if you want to see that, let me know and I'll finalise it. If that's the sort of content that you want to see. Still red flag conditions, by the way. Why is Hamilton out? No, Jeremy. I don't know who Jeremy Frimpong is, I'm afraid. Hamilton's out because he just bottled it in Q2, frankly. Any damage to the rear side of the car? I'd imagine so, because he went in sort of... So, lots of damage to the front, lots of damage to the rear. So, not looking good for Logan Sarge. Carl Hamilton and the mojo. Yeah, not a good day for Lewis Hamilton. We'll see how Hamilton's mojo will be next year. Is it going to be another dominant year for Red Bull next year? We'll see. We will see. Did Ferrari go back to their old side pods in the end? Yeah, I mean they'll be fixing it overnight. They'll be fixing it overnight. Have I tried Rensport? I'm not sure about Rensport. Rensport it's all owned by the Saudis, isn't it? And it's all like it's not very open to people. So not sure about my views on. I need to consolidate my views on Rensport. Lawson didn't do very well. Yeah, I mean, it's a suboptimal qualifying session for Lawson for sure. Just slotting in there in P20 out of 20. But he survived. And it's very, very, very tricky conditions for him. Very tricky conditions. Welcome to 44 Hamilton Goat. Let us know which driver you support. It's not clear from your username there. Peter says just had 7 years of Merc and now we're going on to 7 years of Red Bull. Hope you're ready for it. Joy says you look quite Indian, buddy. Is that a way of saying I've had a tan or something? Martin supporting McLaren. Guys, let us know in the chat, where in the world are you watching from? Where are you watching from in the world? We can understand some of the support that way. We've done it before. We had a lot of people from the US. We've had people from Europe. We had not only one person from Africa. No one from Asia. No one... I don't think we had anyone from down under. Oh, here we go. I say that. Now we've got Eva from Australia. Athar from India. Kat Martin from Las Vegas. I was in Las Vegas last month. Really enjoyed it. I hope all is well there with the weather at the moment. Joy's watching from New Delhi. Natasia's from Philippines. Nina from France. Kate in Australia. Snowline, California. Mohammed Nashtik Siddiqui is watching from Pakistan. Davina says Bottas is supposed to be the teacher. He always comes second to Zhou. Guanyu Zhou. Oh, harsh words, Davina. Frimpong from Spain, but English. Very nice. Peter Netherlands, but not a Max fan. What's the backstory there? Kate from UK. Anchi from Serbia. Alexander from Madagascar, not sure about that. Rodney from Australia. Davina US. Nina from France. Carl from Manchester. Sheikh Mohammed Mansour Sheikh from Brunei Darussalam. Once from Australia. Viniki from Germany. Martin from Somerset. Oh, I've got a classic Brawn GP livery there. Africa on the Rise is from Kenya. Dan Mage, Virginia. You can see Dan. Gavin from USA, Pennsylvania. AT Singapore. Eric, Norway. Damile from Nigeria. Nigel from Georgia. Michael from Chile. RP from Yerevan, Armenia. Shren from Germany. PR from Philippines. El Turan Torito from Hungary. Hungary is what it says on my screen. Hungary. The Shoot by Australia. There's no premiere today. There's no premiere today, unless I've mistimed something. Joy from Netherlands, Talib Salam from India. Is there any more rain due? I don't believe so today. We're still on the red flag. Rodrigo from Venezuela. Tim Archer from Thailand. Rutbat Miraj from Pakistan. And Mevant from Delhi. Look at all international stream. Delay due to barrier repairs. Chat, do you want to see me do a video on how they repair barriers? I did it when I was at Spa, and it's quite unusual. And sometimes, you know, we're just chatting now, but they are working flat out doing some really interesting things to repair that barrier. Didn't we have a barrier issue at a previous race once that caused basically a red flag of the session? They couldn't resume it. Talib again from Kerala. Ratbad from Pakistan. You guys are saying it twice, guys. Rich from Thailand, welcome to El Turan. Dave, Mohammed, 44 Hamilton, Goat, Vanaki, Dimitri from Greece. I'm not sure, Dan. How much longer for the barrier repairs? They are all over the Tech Pro. So I was at Monaco, I believe in 2016 or 2017, when Max Verstappen crashed at Saint-Devote in his Toro Rosso or Red Bull, I can't remember, and he literally punched a hole in the Tech Pro, and I went down to the barrier, and you can see the Tech Pro, the outer material of a Tech Pro barrier is nothing special. It's just sort of plastic. It's all about that spongy material in the Tech Pro barrier that sort of decelerates the car and actually sort of spits it back out. It's a bit like this, rather than just hitting some concrete, which can be a really jarring thing. So it's very interesting what they do with the Tech Pro. Maybe we should try and interview someone from Tech Pro. That'd be cool. How long until the session ends? There's 8 minutes 13 seconds to go of the session. Which football team support? I'm a West Ham season ticket holder, and my favourite circuit is Monza. Tell us what they're doing. Tell us what they're doing. They're fixing the barrier. Yeah, Carl's got it. Carl's got it down. So they're still all over the barrier, because if someone were to crash there again, at the moment they would not get the benefit of that Tech Pro. So it could be a much more severe accident, and basically as it stands, the circuit is not really FIA Grade 1 certified because it doesn't have that Tech Pro barrier fixed in place there. Right, watching for Portugal. Me and Vanna would love to see them back in India. We have MotoGP 1. I didn't know MotoGP was in India. Obviously a huge market though. Right, they might be done now with the Tech Pro. They might be fixed the Tech Pro here. They might have fixed the Tech Pro. Yes, they are all getting back. We are going to get underway soon. We're going to get underway very soon. The Tech Pro barrier is fixed, and they're getting back into that crew of 5. It's amazing how you just see the dunes off the track. Like, they could fit so many more people at this track. Q3. Yeah, we're in Q3, everyone. Davina, the change to barriers made it in Indy was dramatic. You're right, it spits them back out. Yeah, it's really cool invention. Alonso pole, Suraj Singh says. I don't think so. What caused the red flag? Have a guess which driver in that top 10 caused the red flag. Damn, there's got us. Not very good for United, which I love to see. I love to see it. Session will resume in 3 minutes. By the way, we are streaming this tomorrow. So just to make sure you don't miss it, I'm going to put the link in here. This is the link for tomorrow. So while we're waiting for the next 3 minutes, I would pop over there, put the notification on to make sure you're notified so you don't miss out on the race stream tomorrow. Because we're going to stream the race tomorrow. It'll be very interesting. Do I listen to Matt and Tommy? Not really, no. So what's going to happen now? How dry is the track going to be? We are going to resume racing in 2 minutes, by the way. 2 minutes to resume racing. Two minutes till we go racing, everyone. I am excited. I am very excited. Big pressure on the drivers, big break. Who's going to come out off the blocks really warmed up? Caitlin saying George is doing well. Yeah, George. In fact, Alex Albon again is at the front of the pit lane. That's where he likes to be. They just sit there and they go out first. That's what they do. We are just moments away from green flag conditions in Q3. Going to be very interesting to see who is... Oh, everyone is queued up. Thing is, if everyone is queued up, also no one is queued up, you may as well have all have stayed in. The whole 10 cars are queued at the pit lane. Apart from one driver, which is Max Verstappen. So Max Verstappen is just sitting nice and cool in the pit lane, everyone. George Russell, one sweaty man, is in the queue. No worries, Kai. It's also great to listen to these streams. We have people who drive cross country and whatnot, and they love listening into the streams, which is great. Absolutely awesome. Simply lovely. Are we getting some movement on track? Should be very soon. Martin again just confirming Somerset in case we did not know. Just making sure that message got through. Carl saying Max playing the tax. We will see. Well, they didn't do a very good job earlier on, otherwise he'd already have a lap time, wouldn't he? Here we go. We are qualifying again at Zandvoort for the Dutch GP. Qualifying, and I thought it was Alex Albon out of the front, but it's actually not. It's actually a Ferrari has somehow snuck ahead. So it is, I think, is it Carlos Sainz? Must be Carlos Sainz, because only one Ferrari left in Q3. Obviously, who is going to be the first driver. Will we see another red flag? Stranger things have happened, everyone. We are go again. We are go. Put your green emojis. Put your green emojis in the chat. Just put anything green to signify that we are, again, green. This is it. How much time left on the clock? 7.5 minutes. So do we have enough time for people to go out, do one qualifying run and come in? We will see. We will see. Who is going to be looking good? Carlos Sainz starts his flying lap right now. Is he going to come across any traffic? Logan Sargent will not be setting a lap time in this session. He was doing very well until he binned it. There we go. We've got all the green stuff coming out. It's green. That transcends any language. Meanwhile, Alex Albon is setting purple sectors all the way through Sector 1. You can see purple mini sectors, as does Carlos Sainz. But what can Alex Albon do? Goes 5/10 faster than Carlos Sainz in Sector 1. Wow. Keep an eye on Verstappen and Perez. They're gearing up to start their flying laps. Alex Albon is a driver on a mission here. Williams are not hanging around, everyone. Look at that. We are green. We are green in the chat. We are green at Zandvoort. And very much dry line central right now. Lando Norris, though, goes 3/10 faster than Alex Albon. Going to be very difficult to keep abreast of this. Welcome, Funky. Great to see you. Come here for your home GP, which is awesome. George Russell goes fast sector 2. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. Crazy. You can see on the track map where everyone is, by the way. Who is looking like... Oh, look at Alonso. Alonso's got to get a move on, otherwise he's going to hold up George Russell. Only 10 cars on the track. Go on, Alonso. You got to move. You got to move, Alonso. Oh, look at George Russell. He's right behind Alonso here. Might have to back off. That was his fastest lap. They might just be doing one lap. And there's a Ferrari and Alex Albon coming across. So Russell goes P1, Leclerc goes P2. Lando goes P1 now. But keep an eye on the Red Bulls. Oscar Piastri, it's a McLaren provisional 1-2. There are 5.5 minutes to go. Sorry, there's 2. Sorry, Nando. My bad. I was just testing you. Good to see you're keeping abreast of things. Max Verstappen can only go P3. It's only P3 for Max V. Wow. Look at that. Only P3. The McLarens have dominated Max Verstappen here. And Perez, by the way, is a second behind Max Verstappen. That's not that unusual. What can Fernando Alonso do here, if anything? Verstappen's a man on the move, though. Goes fastest in Sector 1, but it's only... I don't know if it's how much faster it's going to be. We need to see. He's gone purple in Sector 1. Carlos Sainz, one of the 2 Ferraris on track, is about to set his lap time. Where's he going to come out? Carlos Sainz does not improve, weirdly.
Daniel pit lane.
No improvement for Carlos. Bear with me. Bear with me.
Remember the pit lane speed limiter.
Do Max Verstappen. Yes, indeed. Keep us updated in the chat who you're supporting here. Verstappen is not on fastest. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. Something may have happened in Sector 2. Look at the congestion in the mini-map there. Ah, Ferrari's off. Ferrari's off. That's it. Yellow flag. 4 minutes to go. Are they going to red flag it? He's taking the wheel off. They've got to red flag it. They have to red flag this. FIA, get this red flag out. Red flag. Get your red emojis out in the chat. Get your red emojis out. We want to see red. We want to see red. It's a red flag. It's a red car. It's a red race suit. Is it a red helmet for Leclerc, or was it Carlos Sainz? Who is it? Get those red emojis out. I think it might have been Carlos Sainz. I'm trying to get a view here. But no, it's Charles Leclerc, the other Ferrari driver in the session, just understeered off the track into the barrier. Really, really, really weird crash. That is the weirdest crash I've seen today, and goodness knows I've seen a lot of crashes today. Honestly, it just looked a bit like driver error, that one. It looked a bit like driver error. Red flag. The left suspension has been ripped off the car. That is a red flag with almost 4 minutes exactly to spare with a 1 minute 12 lap time. So what that means is they will queue up at the pits again. If we go racing again, they will do a 1 minute 20 something out lap. But this is the important thing. We need to do the maths here, actually. The guy at the front of the grid who comes up first, they might do a 1 minute 20 and they might just get 2 fastest laps in, right? But behind them, it's going to be so stacked up. I would start queuing right now. I would get to the front of that queue right now. Ferrari fans crying in the corner. Do we have any Ferrari fans in chat? Next season, the dry spell will be good this season. I mean, yeah, Charles Leclerc. Let's be honest, right? How many people watching have been watching me streaming this all day? How many times have I said, Charles Leclerc's gone off, Charles Leclerc's locked up, Charles Leclerc's gone too deep, Charles Leclerc doesn't look too comfortable? Charles Leclerc has not looked comfortable at any point today. I've been telling you guys and girls this. And this is what happens. It's just a weird crash where he sort of meandered off the track. Just driver error. He might have been overthinking it. Did not look natural. Did not look natural at all. Sorry, Nando. I'm not your favourite streamer, am I, Nando? But I'd say Charles Leclerc is my favourite French driver. So of all the drivers from France, I really like Charles Leclerc. Darko said we aren't surprised anymore at Ferrari. Frimpel keeping updated on football, very nice. Oh man, red flag. Red card for Carlos. They've recovered the car. Is that his? No, that isn't his car. I thought that was his car. I'm not doing very well with Ferrari here at all. That's Carlos Sainz's car. WF1 streamer has said it's really good day. Really enjoying the stream. Really enjoying the stream. Really enjoying hanging out with all of you. Snowline says Leclerc is having an off day. Evo, Ferrari is just Ferrari. We're used to the pain now. Alan Moore, I knew it. Davina is a bin it or win it. No, Davina says Leclerc is a bin it or win it man. Carl looks like he's constantly fighting, never seems to be in a groove. Charles Leclerc, what are you doing, my guy? Ah. Nina says not French Leclerc, what? Is he Monegasque or something? Having a look here, Charles Leclerc, he's just sort of maybe apex too early. I think he might just have apex too early. It's a crash. I've done those crashes in real life. You're not in the groove. You're frustrated. You apex a bit too early, and you run out of track on the exit. You dip a wheel on the grass, and you're just like, oh, screw this. And I think that's exactly what Charles Leclerc has done. The Spanish driver for Ferrari. The crash strikes again. Yes, indeed. Another crash for the crash there. 4 minutes to go. More pressure. Lando Norris was on P1. Provisional pole. But the track is going to be getting even more drier. Is this a lifeline for Max Verstappen? Potentially. Potentially a lifeline for Max Verstappen here. We are going to go racing again in just 1 minute's time. just 1 minute. We're going to go green flag conditions. Oh, I thought it was... Oh, it must be Nico Rosberg is the French driver. Both McLarens, P1 and P2. George Russell's been looking racy as well. Charles Leclerc was up there. He was up there, but just not looking too comfortable. What does that mean for Carlos Sainz? I don't know. And then we got both Williams there as well. Lewis Cypher, the worst part of this track is that the emergency goes right in front of the stands, so everyone can see you walk back to the pits. Yes, indeed. Right, everyone, get your green flags ready. I'm going to let you know it's green. I'm amazed we haven't got people queuing up. I'm amazed we haven't got people queuing up, stacked up at the front of the pits. Let's see. I'll let you know when we're going to go green. When are we going to go green flag conditions? We will see. George Russell's in this pit box, sweating away. How much time left? Kanate says 4 minutes, basically, exactly. So it's going to be a mad scramble now. I mean, this Q3 is taking forever. We predicted red flags. We knew red flags were going to come, but this is another level of red flags. Another level of red flags here. Is there anyone else fancies going off the circuit? Remember, Logan Sargent binned it. He's still ahead of Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz. What's going on there, lads? No one is stacked up. We're green flag, and no one is stacked up. Green, green, green. Put your green emojis in. We're green. Now Sergio Perez comes out. Why was no one stacked up there? I don't know. Everyone's been stacked up before. It's almost like it took people by surprise. 3 minutes 40 to go, and Sergio Perez is the only driver leaving the pit lane. It's like some sort of meme, and now we see a Williams go, which has to be Alex Albon. There we go, green flag, everyone, green flag conditions. 3 minutes 30 to go. I know why it is. People are trying to time it really cute to get one flying lap, and I think people are going to be timing it too cute. I think with the traffic we've seen today, with the way it stacks up around the last corner, I think we're going to see people really struggle to get that lap time. I really do. I think this is going to be egg on people's faces here. Russell's out as well. Yeah, you can see on the standings here what's going on, but some people, I believe, are trying to do this a little bit too cute, I have to say. I have to be honest. Meanwhile, I'm going to send out someone. But this is it there, everyone. This is what we've been waiting for all day, to find out what the qualifying is going to be for the 2023 Dutch GP. As Max Verstappen goes out on track as well with 2 minutes 30 to go. They're cutting it. You know, do you want to get 2 flying laps or 1 flying lap? Because, well, they're not going to get 2 because it's 2 minutes 40. So these drivers here, they're just going for 1 flying lap. All or nothing. Carl's saying someone else has to bin it. Who crashed, Sainz or Charles? It was Charles Leclerc who crashed. Darko predicts another red flag. I mean, feel free to to visualize it. Charles Leclerc sitting in a deck chair, by the way. He's gone full Fernando Alonso. He's in the deck chair. Is he doing the wave? I don't know how Fernando Alonso knew to do that wave when the camera's on. That's all a bit of a conspiracy theory. Mohamed will crash again. No, he's in the chair. He hasn't crashed. He's sitting in the chair. So now that says they're cutting it rather fine. Yeah, 1 minute 40 to go. So let's see what's going to happen here. Perez is going to get 2 flying laps in. That's a Perez strategy. I know he isn't. No, he is not. Beg your pardon. What on earth is Perez doing? There's Verstappen, by the way. So Verstappen's on the move. This is very difficult to call here. It's very unusual what's going on. But people are going to be running out of time. So we're basically going to be on last laps for a lot of drivers. So Verstappen goes over. He had a minute to go. So keep an eye on Verstappen there. But Norris has gone faster than Verstappen in Sector 1. Norris beats Verstappen in Sector 1. What's going to happen in Sector 2? 24.5 to beat. And it's half a second quicker than Piastri. What about Lando? 3/10 slower for Lando. So it's give or take. At the moment, Verstappen's looking pretty ominous. And Piastri, remember, Verstappen goes 1 minute 10.5. What? 1 minute 10.5. That is a quick lap, and that is going to be it. That is going to be his lap time. So we go with Oscar Piastri, 1 minute 11.1, 1 11.9. No, whoa. That's it. That's it at the top, everyone. Norris and Piastri just blown away. My goodness me. It's a 1.3 second between Verstappen and Piastri, and Verstappen and Perez, and Lando can only get half a second. Alonso splits it. Alonso goes faster than Perez. Keep an eye on Alex Albon here, and Russell Albon goes P3. Hell is that? How has Alex Albon gone P3? Keep an eye on George Russell. George Russell goes P3. George Russell goes P3. So we got Verstappen, Lando, Russell, Albon, Alonso, Sainz, Perez, and then you can forget about Leclerc and Sargent because they don't have a car left. That is your qualifying. That is your Q3. Your front row is Verstappen and Norris, but your second row is Russell and Albon. Williams are back. Williams are legitimately back, everyone. That is a big statement by Williams there. Alex Albon P4, but I have to say, if you want my analysis here, Verstappen just went on pole by 0.6 of a second. That is an absolute age. To give you some kind of like context, the difference between Verstappen and Norris is basically the difference between Norris and Piastri. I mean, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Albon a monster. Let me know in the chat right now your driver of the day. Who is your driver of the day? You're going to give it to Verstappen for qualifying on pole. You're going to give it to Lando for being best of the rest. You're going to give it to Albon. Who are you going to give your driver of the day to? It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Wow. Verstappen just pulled that out of the bag like he does every time. He's going for the 9 consecutive wins. 0.6 ahead of Lando Norris. He's a second ahead, basically, of P4. No worries, Sheikh Mansour, Sheikh Mohammed. Atharf saying Albon, Live Track Albon, Eva Albon, Natasha Albon, Anki Max, Lewis Albon, Kanate Albon, PR Albono, Tim Albon, Dimitri Albon, Alex saying Albon, showing he's far better than Perez. Very good point. That's why we've got the best chat here. Best chat on YouTube is on this stream. Davina Albon is my driver of the day. Excellent over all 3 sessions. Riot Max, Michael saying Max, Shamina Sultana saying Albine, and Ryan saying a good quali. You know what? I'm going to tell you what I really feel. How good would it have been for Albon to have been P3 in quali and be in the interviews there on pure merit, on pure pace? Lewis is probably hiding somewhere. Verstappen, Max. Athos says, no matter how much I love Verstappen, Albon deserves to be driver of the day. Very magnanimous there. Very magnanimous. And Lando Norris able to pull it out the bag and finish P2, whereas Oscar Piastri just could not do it. It came down to last laps and there were 7/10. So must have been a big mistake there somewhere for Oscar Piastri. And if we're going to have a look at the lap, I'll let you know where that is. Blaze saying Verstappen, Max Verstappen. Williams going to drop off. We will see. Dan saying great new car song with video game racing video. Don't know what that is. Funky saying the crowd goes wild in Zandvoort. Yeah, the crowd do go wild. And obviously myself as a long-standing Max Verstappen fan, I am delighted about that. TM4 mad to see Williams in top 5. How about this? Williams in top 4. Can go even better. Williams have looked ominously strong all weekend. So really good job there by Williams. George Russell, P3 for Mercedes. And there's going to be some driver interviews now for qualifying here at Zandvoort. Very sort of windy here at Zandvoort. Could be interesting to see that tomorrow. Blaze says, you are right. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, by the way. We're going to hang around here and just see any penalties, any drama, anything like that. I will keep you all informed. Do not worry about it one little bit. On top of absolutely everything for you here. Max Verstappen looks he's not even sweating. He looks like he's barely driven. He just comes straight out of the car, gives an interview, The guy is supreme. The car is supreme. Ultimately, we are all, whether we like Verstappen or not, we are witnessing greatness here. In the presence of greatness here with Red Bull Racing and Max Verstappen. And very difficult for anyone to even come close to him. But I say again, a 6/10 gap in qualifying is scary. Because that could be a second gap in the race, and then it's scary, scary, scary. The story will be, will Max Verstappen get his 9th victory in a row tomorrow? It's crazy. When you look at Perez down in P7, mixing it, it's a very unusual... It's just Max is mad. The right wants to track in Portimao GT7. Mark says this race was an epic qualification. It was. Q3 was like a whole qualifying day in its own. TM4 says Albon is our Super GT. Lewis, turn 1 tomorrow is going to be lit. Yeah, but turn 1 is different. It's such a sweeping corner. It's a sweeping corner. What are your predictions for the race tomorrow in the post qualifying now? What are your predictions for the race tomorrow, everyone? What do you think? How do we think the race is going to go? I mean, it's difficult to look past Verstappen. And it's going to be tough for Albon to stay up there, but... Like Lewis in Q2, just some impedance, but also just bad laps. 2 Brit boys up there, yeah, Norris and Russell. And kind of Albon. Alex, don't see Perez keeping his seat next season. If you've got any thoughts on qualifying or the F1 generally, now's the time we can chat about it. Mr. Amazing Gary, if Red Bull's such a good car, why is Perez so far down? Maybe it's Verstappen. That's what we need to find out. We need to know just how good is Max Verstappen. Just how good. Pin, I can't predict. Only thing I know is Max on... Yeah, can anyone predict the podium? Who's going to predict the podium? I'm going to go Verstappen, Russell, Norris. I'm going to go Verstappen, Russell, Norris. That's what I'm going to go. What do we think about that? CBGB saying he's going to lap everyone. Wow. That is a big claim, including himself. He just looks so relaxed, everyone. He just looks so unbelievably relaxed. He's barely broken sweat. Alex is hoping for a point for Williams. Yeah, a point would be great for Williams. Hopefully they can fix the Logan Sargent car as well. Davina says 1.3 second gap between Max and Perez. Crazy. Is it a 1.3? Surely it isn't. Yes, it is. Wow. That 1.3 in the same car is just downright embarrassing if you're Sergio Perez. Downright embarrassing. I mean, to be 1.3 behind your teammate is... That's a pretty big gap. I mean, it's rare to have such a big gap. If you look at all the other teammates that were left in qualifying here, I mean, we were saying, you know, Piastri was 8/10 behind Norris, but 1.3 is another ballpark. Isn't it, really? Blaze saying Max is just a god. Well, I mean, he's on another level. Is Max actually an alien? Maybe Max Verstappen is genuinely an alien. What do we think? Possible? He's been sent from some alien racing race. Red Bull should never got rid of Albon. Red Bull, you know, I felt like when Alex Albon was at Red Bull, I felt like he was really earnest. I felt like he was really honest. And I feel like he really sort of wore his emotions on his sleeve. And I felt like Red Bull punished him for that. And he had a few unlucky moments. And we'd seen with Gasly as well, but I feel like Alex is he's in a great place right now. He's in a great place. Some of my mates have been speaking with him, and he's just like supremely relaxed, they say. Like really relaxed. Mr. Amazing Gary, last time entire field was lapped by leader was Australia 95, I think. Max is probably from Jupiter. Only Max would win a championship and go on iRacing 3 hours later, yeah. I don't think I've ever raced Max in iRacing. Shame. Musa is Q3 over. Musa Q3 is over, and you can see there Max is signing the Pirelli tyre. That will go to some corporate sponsor probably. Adrian Newey, yeah, another masterclass from Adrian. Is it Prima? Is someone from Prima getting the tyre? What's that connection about? Albon beats Perez again. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, indeed. Sky advertising the cricket. We don't care about the cricket, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Especially not the 100, which is the most over-commercialised fake cricket I've ever seen. Yeah, thanks, Monkey. Yeah, remember, hit that like button. We'll keep going to see if there's going to be any penalties. Obviously, the impeding as well. Carlos Sainz could be dropping down the order. That could promote Perez and Piastri. We will see. Savage says, surely Perez is done at Red Bull. People say Perez is washed. Is Perez washed? Could be. Could be washed. That'll be it. We'll do that as a poll. Do you stream many G3 races? Yes, I do. I stream everything. You have to be subscribed and you have to be notified because I do so much on this channel. You won't see it in your browser otherwise. You have to be there. Some Bernie's Beach Club now, which I think meant a different thing at Monaco about 20 years ago than it does now. Doesn't look as exciting right now, I've got to be honest. Alex saying Perez not washed. Perez not washed confirmed. I'm telling you, Perez needs to go in endurance racing and just win Le Mans. Perez needs to get the Triple Crown. Just go for the Triple Crown, Perez. I really want to make a video on that. I just need to have more time. Why can't I have more time? Sean, Perez is far from washed. He sucks at quali. Snowline, Perez is fully washed. Well, hang on. Is Perez washed or not washed? I'm getting all sorts of different comments in the chat. Lewis, they won't sack him unless other teams can challenge Red Bull. Alex, Perez needs a team that supports him. Team 4 looking to get to IRL race in Nürburgring. Definitely go check out my mate Super GT because he's doing that right now. And we used to race together in karting and we're in the same karting championship. He's now racing at Nürburgring. If they replace Perez, who will be a good replacement? Alex Albon. Well, not the best day for Liam Lawson, but you know he's kept the car. He did have a spin, but he hasn't damaged the car. He's got a lot of experience. Yeah, how can you sack the person who finishes second in the driver's standings? Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened before, chat? I mean, that would be very, very harsh, wouldn't it? Like, extremely harsh. Exceedingly harsh. So we like Stroll. Yeah, when is Aston Martin going to get rid of Stroll? That's the big question. That, my friends, is the bigger question. PR Max, Lando, George. That's your prediction, yeah. I mean, it'd be amazing if Albon... I think solid points, getting 2-3 points is massive for Williams. Genuinely for the constructors. Also, it has happened, Bottas. Yeah, but they didn't... Was Bottas second when they fired him? Did they really fire Bottas? I can't remember how that went down. Perez just wants to win most overtakes. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe Perez just like making it difficult on purpose for himself. Bottas is just driving. Mohammed says the toxic team that helped Albon and Gasly back in the game, who gave Checo more chances than their juniors. Yeah, so they did help. They did help Alex Albon. Important to remember that. Davina, if Perez was to retire, they make him a BB. And by the way, we're all forgetting about Daniel Ricciardo. Where does Daniel Ricciardo fit into all of this? I haven't seen Daniel Ricciardo's name mentioned once today. Has anyone seen Daniel Ricciardo's name mentioned once today? Did you all forget about Danny Rick? I tell you who hasn't forgot about Danny Rick is me. Because I'm gutted we couldn't play Daniel Rick Roulette today. I had it all ready. Danny Rick Roulette, and then he only went and broke his hand. I wanted to do Danny Rick Roulette. No fire left in Bottas, just collecting his GPS. What is Garmin? Lewis saying Danny Ricciardo is washed. Okay, we do a poll. We're going to do a poll, everyone. I want to get your honest thoughts on this poll, okay? These are your options, okay? Big pole. Big pole. Big pole, everyone. Check that out. Votes coming in. Oh, Sergio Perez is getting the brunt of it. Have the vote and have the tab open. You'll see it move in real time. Yeah, hasn't Danny Rick won a race like more recently than Charles Leclerc? Is that a thing? Is that actually a thing? Leclerc washed. At the moment, Leclerc is more washed than Daniel Ricciardo, according to you. Yeah, Leclerc was quite bad today, let's be real. Like, it was not a good day for Charles Leclerc. To say the least. Leclerc has more potential, but all seems distracted mentally. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, I agree with that. Martin, he's 33, Danny Rick, look at Kimi Alonso, come on people. So is that Martin the vote for not washed? Is that a not washed vote? At the moment though, you're all saying Sergio Perez is washed. I'm keeping an eye here, any track limit penalties and stuff. I can't see any. Can't see anything. Sean said Charles is not being very motivated. I mean, how much more motivation do you need working Formula 1 for Ferrari? Almost 10 years left driving for Danny Rick, Martin saying. Davina saying Ricciardo and Perez are washed. Leclerc doesn't have a car. Oh no. It's not looking good in the wash vote, is it? Not looking good. Exactly, how can Danny Rick be washed when he has won a race for McLaren and Lando has never done it? Like, Lando has never won a race for McLaren and yet it was Danny Rick who won it. Explain that to me, aliens. Snow saying Hamilton washed. Oh, we should have put Hamilton in there. Okay, not washed. Let's go, Danny. Davina saying Bottas is washed. What about Haas? Is Haas as a team just like completely washed? Like every part of Haas is washed, and they've just reconfirmed their lineup for next year. Like, why? Why have they done that? Let's be real. Haas is the most washed team. Like, if we're honest, Hulkenberg is washed. Like, what are Haas doing? Why don't they put in like an up-and-coming F2 driver? I don't understand the Haas strategy. Alex saying Hulk not washed. Yeah, had to re-sign them. I don't understand. TM4, Norris has a special place in my heart because I watched him on Sim Racing and Press F1. Yeah, I spoke to his brother. His brother's really involved in sim racing cockpit as well. I've raced Lando. Savage says Haas are the good time gang. Hulk needs stability. Lewis says Leclerc has the third best car on the grid. Do you really believe that? Honestly? Like, who knows how good the Ferrari is, frankly? How can we possibly tell? Christian Horner's saying something. I don't know what it is. When you interview someone, you have to nod like this. So you'll see my interview tomorrow. You have to, like, whatever you say, you have to be like, even if you disagree with it. I'd love to just do an interview where I just shake my head. I'm like, they're talking. I'm like, no, I don't agree with you. Phoenix saying Hamilton washed. Bottas has hit to the bicycle. Yeah, Leclerc crashed. The qualifying again. Yeah, qualifying is done.
Is now finished.
These are your standing. Session is now finished. There we go, everyone. So what I'm going to do is, this is the race stream for tomorrow. Please, please, please go here, hit that like button, hit that notification, and share this stream on your socials. Let's have a really buzzing stream tomorrow. I'm going to update some stuff on my end. Thanks for the subscribers there. Thanks, Laura and Sammy. But make sure you go over there and yeah, share that stream. Let's make it big. We hit 10,000 views today. Can we hit 50,000 views tomorrow? I will do my best. I will bring all my energy. I promise you. I promise you. So I'll work out the timing, so I'll just fine tune when we're going to go live. But the stream is already scheduled. And we'll have a premiere after it. We'll maybe go into a premiere of my interview with John Eric Verne. That seems like quite a good fit. If anyone remembers John Eric Verne, someone who also found the bad end of Red Bull racing, I would say. And I spoke to him about some of these things. So I'm going to end the stream here, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Classy, Davina, Martin, TM4 Guardian, Gary, Musa, Alex, Snowline, V-Nick, Savage, Sean. Who else have we got? It's the usual crew in the chat. And also everyone, and Funky as well, doing a lot of modding behind the scenes. So we will see you again tomorrow. I'm going to end the stream, which should automatically take you to the stream for tomorrow. When you're there, please hit that like button and just share the stream in the socials. It'd be very much appreciated. I will see you all. Well, I'll see you tomorrow for the race. We'll be there.